Hey, perfect.
So that's all that really matters. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Hair of the Dogcast, your favorite podcast about video games and beer and video games. Mm-hmm. And
today it's actually about beer again.
It is about beer. And it's always about games, but it's not about Tyler. Because Tyler got a job at a new brewery, and he has double booked himself for making money and having fun. So he chose to make money instead.
Cheers to Tyler.
Cheers to Tyler.
Absolutely. We're drinking right now Controlled Chaos IPA. It's a West Coast IPA from Surly Brewing Company. I've never had it. It was worth a shot.
Surly Brewing used to be very good friends with a lot of the people who own that. My name is Brad. We're part of the HyperX Podcast Network. Your name is?
Dylan.
Yes, I used to live in the cities, and I used to know many of the people who worked at Surly before their big expansion. And I don't want to say they've changed. And I don't want to say they've sold out, but they've changed. Their labels are not as good as they used to be. They used to be like badass, strong craft beer. Now they just kind of look a little more run of the mill. Their label design. I haven't had a Surly beer in a while.
Sure.
So I'm excited to have this. Thanks for sharing.
Absolutely, dude. Yeah, I actually like this.
It's still a great IPA. It's just sad to see that it's not like it used to be. Once they got like this brand new big expansion, they got like a big mega like size billion tanks.
Oh, I've seen it before. I've actually went to one of their festivals.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty dope. They got a lot of good music and stuff, but you could tell it was just like, oof.
It's different when you have a staff of 40 servers versus 2 upset bartenders. I prefer the upset bartenders to a high schooler who doesn't know much about beer.
Well, and this is just the way of all things. If you get good, it's bound to happen.
Yep, you can't grow without a lot of growing pains, and yeah, that's just the way things go sometimes. But the beer's still great, so that's all that really matters.
Truly.
Yeah, how you doing, Dylan?
I'm doing well.
I had my wedding shower yesterday.
The wedding shower. Okay. So
these are things that you're supposed to do, I guess.
These are things you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
I guess I can tell people that I'm married.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Dylan wanted to sneak one in before me. He always has to do things before me, and he went and had a sneaky marriage.
Yeah, I had a sneaky marriage. It wasn't even because of that. It was just, it felt right.
You got to go with it sometimes.
Hey, it's best I've ever felt in a long time.
A lot of people just have kids, and I'm glad you went for the marriage route instead of just having kids for fun.
Yeah, the children thing, it's still kind of up in the air, but you know.
Yeah. I'm excited to meet your kids though someday.
Oh God. If it would just be like one.
Yeah.
And he or she's gonna be a monster.
It's gonna be a boy.
Well, maybe it's gonna be a boy.
I don't know. The fact that you said he makes me think that, but
well, you know, it'll be cute either way, I guess. I have no clue.
Most importantly, though, the wedding shower was out by, it was in Economawalk, which is close enough to go to Drafty Cellars. So I went and saw Josh last night.
Oh, yeah, no shit.
And Drafty Cellars looking great. They have a giant Time Crisis 5 machine.
Oh,
each person gets their own big screen, and then like the characters are in different spots in the map, so you work together in different ways.
Really?
It's super cool. I was blown away, and yeah, the arcade games all looked really great, and it was just really good to see Josh. I like to surprise him.
Did you guys get any good gifts for this wedding shower?
We got a big air fryer. We got a lot of glassware, some plates.
More glassware, what everyone needs.
Yep.
More plates, what everyone needs.
That's what Carly put on the registry. So
really?
Yeah.
She just wanted different ones?
Maybe like nicer ones now that we're going to be married. Now that I'm Mr. Carly soon.
Mr. Carly.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm actually going to call you that. I'm going to put you in my phone as Mr. Carly.
Mr. Carly. And got a foam axe toss game for podcasting. I guess that's what podcasters do.
It's one for the boys, I guess.
One for the boys.
It's fine. I mean, it looks fun. Have you played a little bit of it yet?
No, it does look fun, and I will throw it at someone eventually.
Okay.
A nice little foam axe.
Fine enough.
Yeah. So we haven't had a Dogcast in a little while.
And that's been on purpose.
Yep, we've decided to take a more of a break between, so there's bigger news to talk about.
Yeah, a lot of it really ends up breaking down. Well, first of all, we want things a little more evergreen, a little more like that you can re-listen to this if you wanted to. And it's also because how many times can you say, yep, bad company did bad thing?
Bad company did bad thing.
And then we just go up. I guess that's the state of the industry.
Video game good, video game bad.
I mean, who knows?
Leaks upsetting, leaks exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the coffee machine saying, no more, Brad. You had your chance. Yeah, but we are here to talk about news today. And I took some of Tyler's news since he did some of the research, and then I also added a couple things. But the biggest news for the past month, Grand Theft Auto 6.
Leaks.
Big leaks, big leaks. On September 18th, a massive leak dropped that gave us our first look at GTA 6. The leaks seem to confirm a few suspicions that fans had about the game. For instance, the existence of a female protagonist, and it also looks for sure to be set in Vice City, at least at some points.
Okay.
The leak showed many other assets and a good deal of code. The leak came from a guy named TPoTuber Hacker, who took credit for the Uber hack earlier this month as well.
Okay.
And Rockstar has confirmed this is official. The FBI is now involved, and
They got him.
They got him. They got a 17-year-old in Oxfordshire, England,
Okay.
was arrested on suspicion of being the hacker behind the leak. I couldn't barely do anything in high school, let alone hack Uber and Rockstar. So that kid's got some crazy talent.
In stuff like this, it's like a Project Paperclip type of thing. They might actually like recruit him to do stuff
Yeah.
in order to lighten his sentence, try to kind of flip him.
I mean,
It's possible.
you'd rather have the best hackers in the world on your team than not on your team.
Well, I mean, they hire idiots, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Governments in general, they just hire yes men.
Yeah. Or former like war criminals. Like we'd rather have them making stuff for us.
They're all war criminals.
Hey, there's that D man. Yeah. So one potential fallout was brought up by Jason Schreier is this might affect work from home flexibility since they need to be able to keep more of a lid on these things. I still think leaks are going to get out regardless of whether people are working from home or not.
But they might be spooked.
Yeah.
That's going to cause a lot of reactionary things that will end up affecting the process no matter what, because everyone's going to be on guard. The creative flow is going to stop. It's like someone peeking at your test that you're going to get 100 on.
Well, and it's interesting in that the only thing we had confirmed before was that Rockstar said, yeah, we're making it. That's all we're going to tell you for now. And the fact that people have been able to see what is granted a rough build, it's still the gameplay looked interesting. There's voice acting. It looks, I thought it looked quite polished for where it was at.
Fidelity. Yeah, absolutely. I think these games are built on fidelity first. I mean, I don't think in particular Rockstar games play very well. Like even one of my favorites, Red Dead Redemption 2, like it's clunky.
Yeah.
The characters have weird weight to them in service of realistic movement rather than what feels right in a video game.
Yeah.
And I mean, they start from the top. It feels like they go from the top bottom rather than from the bottom to the top because they're looking for the next like visual experience. They're looking to blow people away. And I saw the picture of the nightclub.
Okay.
And from the back, I believe it's a woman in the nightclub.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but like the lighting effects, the ray tracing, everything about it. If I saw it in motion, I guess maybe I'd have different opinions, but
yeah,
I don't know.
And it's a rough build.
Which leads me to believe they're actually further along than we think.
Which, please, every studio in the world be further along than you think before you announce Elder Scrolls 6.
Oh, man. How many years has that been?
It's been a while, and we haven't seen shit. But imagine if that got a leak. Grand Theft Auto 6, it was exciting to see. It's in Vice City. I'm pumped that they're going to revisit that. But you mentioned you always think they're a little clunky, and I can agree with you there. I played Grand Theft Auto 5.
I like it.
Multiple times. I loved 3 in Vice City. 4 didn't really work for me as much, but I've never really played the Red Dead games or Bully. What do you think is like the strength of Rockstar? Is it writing? Is it the tone of the games that really works for people? I mean, the gameplay is good, but you don't think it's the strong point.
Writing, sense of immersion, to which they failed in 4. I agree with you.
The protagonist was boring as wallpaper, at least when I was
Nico
playing.
Bellic?
Yeah, the first
Yeah,
couple hours, he did not.
He eventually
gets
gets interesting. I think it's flash over substance to begin with.
Yeah.
Because as these games age, I think naturally people they've got nostalgia goggles, right?
Yeah.
And I think, if you still think if you think GTA 3 is a really fun gameplay experience, still,
those have not aged well.
no, I don't think any of these are going to age well because they built it in the wrong direction.
Vice City, I will never play it again because in my head it is this glorious, perfect experience in my life, and I know if I go back to it, it will not be that.
Well, and the funny thing too is Red Dead Redemption 2, which I've been replaying because it's enhanced.
Yeah.
Well, not specifically for the Series X, but for the Xbox One X, right? Oh my God. But I played it and it looks utterly fantastic. But even now, the way they do like face capture and motion capture has evolved so much more beyond 2018 that it's ridiculous. And so it's going to always look good. The horse still poop.
Horse still poop.
Horse still poop. And you still have like this level of detailed immersion. Like I was even playing and my wife was doing work from home, and
my wife was doing work. You can say my wife now.
I can literally do it.
How long were you engaged? A day?
Like a week.
Okay. Sorry. Go back to
kind of.
Saying.
We were always talking about it, but but she was like, "Holy shit!" Like Saint Denis is still a marvel of production. It still looks great, but I'll tell you what. I'm going down Saint Denis, and my horse is galloping just a little. And then there's an event that happens, like one of those radial events, I think they still call them in video games, where it's just like, oh, a cop is chasing a robber down the street, and he's like, come back, you, and maybe you can help him.
Yeah.
Well, he pops out of a corner. My horse accidentally hits the policeman. I've got a bounty on my head.
That's it.
And that's all it takes. But I'm also just like, come the fuck on. Like, if you're going to make the AI like this, then the AI has to be very good.
Yeah.
It can't be like the first Assassin's Creed where essentially they just were used as cover and blankets.
Yeah.
It's just, I think the only way to improve video games now, if they make the AI extremely good, that's the wave of the future. Because visuals are always going to stagnate until we reach that point where what do they call it? The uncanny valley.
Yeah.
Until you can really bridge that gap to think that I'm looking at a human being, in my mind, it's always just going to be video game stuff.
I do think we've kind of breached that on some games.
Can you give an example?
I think the performance is strong enough in some games like The Last of Us. I haven't played them, but I've seen like the scenes, and the fact that you can look at them and just believe that they're characters and read their emotions. There's not a lot of the real thing is getting thoughts behind the eyes. The eyes are where things always fall apart. But
it's got to have a glow.
This leak also seemed to leak a lot of code, which is potentially very harmful. And I guess like GTA 5, the source code for that was stolen too. So people will be able to figure out how to exploit these games more or to.
I mean, they're modding it anyway. They're already dipping into the code.
But the source code, this is like a big problem.
The skeleton, right?
But yeah, Rockstar made a statement. This sucks. We don't like this, but we don't think this will delay the game.
No, it won't.
Yeah, and some other studios in solidarity have showed rough builds of their games. They're like, don't judge this thing hard because rough builds don't look great. So some other ones have I appreciate other studios like, hey, we're with you. This is not good.
But until you really put on that last layer of texture to a video game, it's always going to kind of look like crap.
Yeah.
And as long as the lighting looks good, like lighting is everything in video games now. I mean, why was ray tracing the biggest thing they talked about with the PlayStation 5 and Series X?
Yeah.
It's because that's what creates realism.
Yeah.
The character models can look a little off, but if it looks good, it's because of lighting.
Yep. It's one more layer to the believability. And continuing on the hack train, 2K has been hacked and warns customers not to open emails that look like official support emails from 2K. The emails contained malicious links, bad enough that if you clicked it, 2K recommends you change all your passwords, install antivirus, and enable two-factor authentication immediately.
Holy Fazoli.
Yeah, I didn't know about this.
I didn't know about this
Tyler
either.
put down. So that's a good warning to people if you're listening. Don't do that. I don't think 2K would be emailing me anyways. But
I don't know how many 2K players we have listening to us because we're a little more.
We're known for our sports games.
Well, we're known for our imaginary make-em-up games, I think, more than anything. Like, ooh, whimsical.
Ooh, robot philosophy.
Do I want to be reminded of just a basketball hit in the court?
So which character did you bone in Persona?
Exactly. Waifus.
Cyberpunk. Welcome back to Night City. A tweet from CD Projekt Red announced that the game has hit 1 million players after the new update and DLC hit. The new content seems to be doing the trick because this is the highest player count since January 2021, even after a disastrous launch. It's nice to see the game rebound, in Tyler's opinion.
It is having a resurgence.
I'd check it out. I still don't have it, but
I like it in theory. I played the original build. Build 1, just 1. I did not download because that was my challenge for the Dogcast.
On the chunky Xbox One.
On the chunky Xbox One.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I didn't experience nearly as many glitches as a lot of people did. Mm-hmm. I wonder why. Maybe there's a little magic I instilled in this shitty little machine.
Maybe you're just good at gaming, and people that don't know what they're doing, there's more opportunities for something to go wrong when they're not. Maybe if you stray from like the mission parameters, you're more likely to get shit that goes wrong. I don't know.
I don't think I'm great at video games. I'm never going to claim that.
I was just being nice.
Well, I know, but like there are games I know I'm really good at, and then there are games where I'm like, well, I mean, take it or leave it. But I don't think that game is nearly as bad as people say. But I also wasn't the person believing the hype leading up to it. I even said, I believe on the podcast, you can correct me if I'm wrong, listeners, but I said, like, don't get your hopes up. Yeah. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. If there's one thing I can tell anyone is just like, wait till the game comes out. You're going to find a copy. Unless it's Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which took me a minute.
It was on sale for $10 today, I saw. And I was like, I should get it.
Do you know how much the DLC is?
No idea.
It's on sale for $10.
The game is on sale for $10.
On PS5 or?
I just saw a tweet that it was on Xbox One and PS4, which I don't know if the upgrade's free, but
I don't think they've made the upgrade yet.
No, they haven't they?
No.
Okay. But I will play it eventually, probably. I'm not in any rush because wait longer, it'll be more patched, and I will enjoy it more, probably.
I mean, you technically played Bloodborne at the best time when everything was all patched up nice and neat, and people were still playing it.
I just feel so good when people say the word Bloodborne. It just makes me happy. I was getting my booster shot today, and the guy looked at my tattoos before he went to my arm and was like, "Is that a demon on your arm?" It's a spirit thing. It's from a video game. You wouldn't get it. Yeah.
Yeah, of course they will, though.
Yeah. Well, it looks like a demon. I was like, okay.
Do your job.
Oh, he was great.
Yeah, well, fine.
Yeah.
So
and
if it is.
Diablo 4, these are still Tyler's news. Fucking finally, Blizzard announced a closed beta for Diablo 4 will happen this year. Users that spent significant amount of time in the endgame for Diablo 2 and 3 will be invited to the closed beta. The beta will be focused on Diablo 4's endgame, which I find odd, but apparently it's because players spend the most time in the endgame and they want it to feel polished.
Yes, they do.
I don't see how this is possible without spoiling part of the plot, but who knows? The beta will be open to the public early 2023. I mean,
these plots are nothing.
Just don't have story elements. Just have the end game like levels and monsters. You don't need to have the story in the beta.
Demon comes out.
Dude, did you guys know that there's going to be a demon in this game?
Did you know Diablo's in this game?
Oh, I thought for sure that there wouldn't be. I didn't think they would do demons in this game. Do you hear that they fight people?
Man, I'll tell you this much. I bought Diablo 2 on sale for the Switch.
Yeah, you've been playing that.
Sorta.
You said you were last one of the
Yeah. I'm sort of into it. And it's a nice experience, but it's also just like, whoa, video games were like this. Because even the Diablo 2 Resurrected, I was like, I expected like better visual fidelity, maybe made it look more like 3.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like that they're going to Diablo 2 and 3 experienced players for the beta. I mean, I don't have a lot of thoughts on this. That Blizzard hasn't got a lot of goodwill with me, or I think a lot of the community after their mobile game. People will play the fuck out of this, though. And
people like Immortal, apparently.
Yeah. I mean,
it's making money.
As long as it hits all those addictive qualities that they know how to make,
sure,
it'll work. And I think there will eventually possibly be a renaissance for mobile gaming where they do become extremely valid, good games. But if
we got to stop the fishing. We got to stop I mean, that's how you make a good game.
Let's say Last of Us Kart Racer or something stupid. $30 flat price. You can play online on your phone. That was a weird example.
No, that's funny though.
Like a game that's specifically designed to be played mobile that doesn't have DLC purchases. That's just a really solid iOS game. Like that could be cool.
Well, they like Square Enix ports a lot of their stuff to negative and I mean, I played War of the Lions for the first time on my phone.
Yeah, fantastic.
That's wonderful. And it felt really good to play because you can literally tip tap.
iPad with the Apple Pen.
Oh, man.
That's so great, like on airplanes. Yeah.
I've been saving up for one.
They're expensive.
Yeah, I mean, $800 for the best iPad Pro.
Yeah, and then also like $100 for the pen. But
yeah, I mean, like I'm going to go through T-Mobile to get one because I'm just like, I'll just pay it monthly. It's fine. But same time, though. I don't know. Like, I want one real bad for art purposes mostly, but
yeah,
if I can play a few tip taps, it's fine too.
Yeah, I don't know. There will be a point where mobile games get good, but they're not there for me yet.
I will credit certain companies like Mojang, Minecraft. It's the same experience, and you pay for it, and then Minecraft, you just have Minecraft, and then you just pay for character skins. Really, that's it.
Yeah,
it's fine. That's okay with me.
That's an acceptable form of monetization. Yeah. All right, you want to have a logo and a purple-colored jacket. Whatever. Here's $2 if that's your thing.
Here's a freaking outfit.
Don't affect my gameplay.
Yeah.
We received a number of beers from one of our loyal listeners, a devoted fan and good friend of the podcast, Ryan Kristinek, Rai JK. And he sent us the most beautiful care package. I didn't want to dip our toes in too much when it's just the two of us, but we had to start.
We're not going too hard.
So thank you. If anyone else would be interested in sending us beer, just message us. We'll make something happen.
Yeah.
Be happy to have you. But this is from Galveston Island Brewing. This is a Galveston Lagerhead. It's a 5% Pilsner lager. And this beer benefits the Gulf Center for Sea Turtle Research. A portion of proceeds from each of these lagers goes to the research activities and conservation priorities that will affect sea turtle populations.
Ooh.
Getting drunk with a purpose. I'm always about that.
Hey, I'm fine with it. So cheers, buddy.
Yeah, to Ryan. Thank you.
Oh, and Ryan, I'm looking at I'm looking at your Emil Nendroid that you sent to us, and it's beautiful. I love Nendroids.
This was the first one I put together. Now, this was before my bachelor party, but I was still hungover before the bachelor party from the night before. And my buddy's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, I don't know. These pieces are tiny. But he's together now, and he looks great.
Oh, yeah, he's beautiful.
And immediately, Dylan made it clear that he wanted it. And I said, Dylan, once the podcast closes down in 30 years, you can have it. But until then, it stays in the studio.
Oh, he's so cute. I might want one of my own.
Yeah.
Because he's actually like a really good representation. Brad, we need to do a seminar for you on how to pose action figures, though. Because I got him right now because he's floating.
Jar Jar looks good. My Jar Jar cup, his arm is up. One of them anyway, so that's good.
Yeah, it's like he's ready to choke you or something.
Always in my dreams. We'll have a seminar at some point. Yes. Yeah. A nice, delicious, drinkable lager. One of my favorite kinds of beer.
Honestly, a lot of fruit notes.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice finish.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very clean. We're through with Tyler's news, and now we're on to Big Papa B-Rad's section.
Hey.
First thing that I want to talk about is the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom trailer.
You mean another teaser? It's not a trailer. I'm so sorry. It's barely anything.
This reveals a lot story-wise.
Okay, what do you think?
So there's a mural at the beginning of the trailer. There's a rock wall showing events, including an owl figure with 7 tiers surrounding it. Most likely, I think this means there will be 7 dungeons. You'll have to collect these tiers to do something.
Oh, God bless. I would love that.
The owl appears to have Sheikah markings on its face as well. That is the ancient mystical race whose tech became a major focal point for Link's prior adventure in Breath of the Wild.
Sure.
A reference to Skyward Sword is present in there. There are warriors
dropping out of the sky.
Well, and there are warriors holding shields on the mural that carry the goddess crest from Skyward Sword.
Okay. Makes sense that they released Skyward Sword then.
Yes. Behind the logo is what appears to be 2 snakes eating themselves like an Ouroboros. And some hints seem to lead to this having taken place before Skyward Sword, and some of it looks like it's after Breath of the Wild 2. Potential time loop scenario where like Link is trapped in an eternity of fighting Ganon. I don't know. I think time travel could potentially, or time alteration could be a new power that he gains here.
It seems like it. We saw a brick kind of moving back up after falling.
Yep.
And I don't think it's a gravity thing.
It's like a reverse stasis looking thing or something.
Time manipulating elements are very tricky in video games. I think they might get it right. Breath of the Wild is a good game.
Yeah.
But like... I just miss my little boy in a green tunic doing his fun adventures with bombs and arrows.
The story, one thing about Breath of the Wild that I think is just so refreshing is the lack of story. It's very lightly peppered in the background. Mostly it's about exploration. It's about adventure.
It's about emergent gameplay and storytelling to a degree, but it's also...
Zelda in trouble, Link saves Zelda. That's mostly what's happening.
Yeah, but it's also not very Zelda feeling.
Yeah, you've made this case before.
I know plenty of people who agree with me where they're just like, you know what? This game feels like a prototype version of something else. And I don't like the Ubisoftification. Ooh, that's a good word. Of modern gameplay.
Yeah.
And despite the fact that I think they did this actually in Breath of the Wild pretty well, because I was entranced at first. Then I'm like, oh, what's going to add on to this? Well, it's kind of going to be the same thing, but...
Breath of the Wild, that game, it's so much bigger than the usual community of gamers. The number of people that I talk to that, I don't play video games, but I play Breath of the Wild, which is very odd to me. That this game, it's not
that odd.
But there's still like a high skill range in some of the dungeons, some of the later scenarios. This isn't necessarily an easy game by any stretch, but the number of people that just love it, I think it's got a very broad appeal and emergent gameplay. So I think that's really great too, because if you want to be a badass overthinker and just make some really crazy scenarios, it's great.
Right.
The combat's mostly great. I have some issues maybe with the swords falling apart so quickly, the weapons, but
the weapon durability is a huge issue in my opinion. It's the rate at which they fall apart.
Just give it 3 times longer rate, maybe 5 times. I don't know.
3 times longer would completely alleviate the problem.
I don't want to use this sword because I only have 20 hits when I get it fresh or something, and that's really dumb.
I don't want to be swapping out mid-battle.
Yeah.
And I get that this is supposed to be their version of a survival game, because it's all about the wilderness. It's all about going out and finding things and crafting things. And
can't be in the cold.
Work.
You need to make food to like survive that or get better armor.
Right. And then you need to harvest materials. These are things I technically like. And this is implemented pretty well because they simplify it. It's not like in Minecraft where you have to make things a specific way at a crafting table. And it used to be in like the first build of the game, you had to put them pixel perfect in place in order for the thing to be crafted. Now it's just like you put them together, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's an investment thing. How can I get you invested in this game, and how can you really just want to keep doing this and figuring out how to do it more?
Yeah. I think Breath of the Wild is one of the best games made. Is Switch previous generation or this generation. It's kind of a mixed generation.
Still, yeah, it's still current.
It's
allowed to be current.
It's one of my favorite games of this generation. Breath of the Wild is very replayable. Such a big world, such a long game.
If you're a first time gamer that actually, if you're playing this for the first time, I don't know who that would be. Do master mode first. I had so much more fun with master mode.
Oh, really?
Way more fun.
I will replay it on master mode when we get to that.
It is way better. It's a much better experience. Nintendo loves to provide an experience for everyone right away. In a Mario game, they add layers of difficulty through challenges that you can make for yourself.
Yeah.
But with something like Legend of Zelda, you get what you get when you get it. There are hidden things and there are things you can do, but they don't offer... They offer secrets, but a lot of those secrets are for everyone anyway to begin with. Like the Korok Seed quest, anyone can do those. They're simple physics puzzles.
But only insane people would get all the Korok seeds.
I think I got 75% of them.
That's the thing where I'm happy to find them. I'm not looking for. I won't go and complete them, but I will like, oh, that looks odd. I'll go check that out.
Yeah.
But my thoughts when seeing this trailer, seeing Link dangling from an island floating in the sky and like just skydiving downwards, riding a plane. My thought was this game is going to be fucking huge. This is going to be one of the defining, I mean, it's easy to say, one of the defining games for the Switch, a Zelda title that everybody will buy. And
actually, I would pre-order this one.
I couldn't be more excited for Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. Is it just Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom?
Yes.
Okay, I shouldn't say Breath of the Wild again.
No, it's not Breath of the Wild.
It's Tears of the Kingdom. The kingdom is crying.
Yeah. The working title was Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah.
But now we can actually call it Tears of the Kingdom or Tears of the Kingdom.
Whoa.
It's got a double meaning.
I guess no one said Tears out loud. I don't know. I didn't watch the Treehouse. They might have said Tears.
They said it in Japanese. So...
Okay.
I mean, I don't think it's Tears of the Kingdom. I'm going to say Tears of the Kingdom because it has tears in the mural.
Yeah.
It's chic.
It could be a double meaning, though, which is great.
I believe this game will have a playable Zelda.
I believe this trailer is good, although it doesn't reveal too much more. Now,
I think the DLC might be Zelda, but whatever.
Did you see the God of War Ragnarok story trailer that just came out?
Well, I haven't played the first one.
Okay. You don't have a strong opinion.
I don't care. Go for it.
Well, I'm purposely not going to talk about what was revealed in this trailer. My thoughts after watching this, because Tyler refuses to watch any of these trailers because he's so fucking pumped for Ragnarok.
Sure.
And this will be a spoiler-free review of the trailer. This trailer made me upset because there are moments that they show in the trailer that I know if I didn't know about them, they would blow me the fuck away in the game. And,
oh, boy.
And I hate that.
Yeah.
And give me these Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom style trailers where it's like super vague and you can speculate. I think it might be about this, but to show specific moments that happen in the course of the game that might happen later on that would be jaw dropping moments if you didn't know they were coming.
How else do you sell your game? And also, what do you think they have hidden then?
To me, the way to sell a game, one of the my favorite examples of recent times is Resident Evil 8. Show the first area, show a lot of Lady Dimitrescu, a lot of this, and then when it branches out to more things, it's like, oh shit, I don't even know who this Moreau guy is, and it's exciting. And maybe everything in that trailer is from a very early part of the game, and there's a lot more. I'm sure there will be many more reveals, but
I think they're very. I think they would know. I think they know what they're doing. To make a fuck up would be to reveal the stuff that is really jaw-dropping.
Like I said, there's 2 moments in this trailer that I had to write down, like, I wish I didn't know about this.
Okay.
And that made me upset. So it is what it is. God of War Ragnarok is also getting an exclusive PS5 controller. It does look sick if you need another controller and you love God of War. Yeah, I already got 2, but it is nice.
Yeah.
If that's your thing. Like a Dragon Ishin was announced, which is interesting. for a couple reasons. They're dropping Yakuza from the title now going forward in America
It's a wise choice.
because now it's Like a Dragon 8 or whatever.
Well, no, this is a side story.
Well, they also that's going to be the next Yakuza Like a Dragon. Instead, it'll be just Like a Dragon 8.
yeah, they're easing people into it.
And I don't know, maybe Yakuza is a scarier name for some people that aren't familiar with it.
I mean,
It also paints an incorrect picture to an extent of what the game's really about.
definitely. I mean, like there's Yakuza elements in it, but your characters pretty quickly get out of the Yakuza lifestyle. So it's a little bit of a misnomer.
Yeah, it's more of a cultural background to playing blackjack and going to karaoke bars.
Sure.
But this is kind of exciting. Like a Dragon Ishin is a remake of a game never released here in the States. Back in 2008, Yakuza Kenzan was released for the PS3.
Oh, I've heard about this.
Later remade in 2014 over there. This is an update of that game with new textures or other graphical details set to release in February 2023 for PS4, 5, Xbone, and Xbox Series X. This game is set during 1853 to 67 during the chaotic Bakamatsu phase of the late Edo period. Edo,
yeah.
and swordplay, over-the-top drama, and character designs you know and love.
Yeah, Kazuma Kiryu.
You're getting all of those Goro Majima. You're getting those same designs, which I think is actually quite smart of them. If you want to make a game completely unlike the Yakuza game you just made,
Well, it's like the zombie one that they made.
if Square used the assets for Cloud and Aerith and Tifa in every game and just remade them, fanboys would be salivating.
Oh yeah,
Oh, this is a different kind of game, but a Cloud's in there, so I'll give it a try.
it's true.
Yeah. And Like a Dragon Ishin was one that when I remember we did the Yakuza series episode, I thought that actually looks cool, more about swordplay. And then all the mini games and the culture is set during that time period, which is kind of fun. Like what games were people playing back then versus RC car racing and
I
all
don't
that
know,
stuff.
shogi probably.
They had like weird bowling and stuff. I don't know if I will. I mean, if this comes,
Probably Hanafuda.
once it gets on sale, I'll check it out for sure.
Yeah, I don't think I'll play this right away.
And I won't play God of War Ragnarok right away either. I can usually wait for something. I'll wait till Tyler's physical copy has been played, and then I will borrow it.
And then you're gonna have to wipe off the cum stains. But just so it doesn't break your PS5.
What's this goo?
I mean, I don't know how many trailers you have on there that might be more Dylan centric.
That I only have one other bit of news, and it's not a trailer. So if you had any specific trailers you
Okay.
did want to talk about.
All right, Fire Emblem Engage.
Yeah, this is coming out for the Nokia N-Gage. Very exciting.
Yeah. When I first saw this, I looked at the main character design and I said, oh, great, another Fire Emblem Warriors? Really? We just had one. What's up with that? No, this is the full release. After the grand scoping, brilliant story of Three Houses, they're going real hard into fan service in a degree I'm pseudo uncomfortable with.
Okay.
I think the game is going to be fun. I trust these people to make a good strategy game regardless. But your main character looks like he came out of like 90s Crest tubes, like toothpaste.
Okay.
Like his hair color. Can you please look him up?
Okay. Keep talking.
Okay. And it literally, the trailer opens up where they describe a war 1,000 years in the past where they summoned people from other realms.
Oh, no. This
And
is
they are
Fire Emblem
all-
has got to that stage, huh?
They are all characters from different games. Yep, that's him.
Oh, no. That's
Doesn't he
bad.
look like a Crest tube?
I hate it.
Okay.
I hate all the color, like the extreme red and blue. This isn't a Pokemon game. Like, what is this?
Oh, don't give it that. Come on.
The art design looks like garbage to me from a distance.
Okay. All right. So here's where I have some positives, I guess.
Okay.
Is that you summon them as spirits.
Remember Marth? I summon Marth.
That's it. But it's characters from other games too, like the Game Boy ones that everyone has played.
Okay.
And you're supposed
Master
to have
Chief.
they're called emblems.
Yeah.
Okay. And you summon them to help you on the battlefield. Maybe they have different aspects. Maybe it's a little bit more Persona-y in the way that they can like modify you and help you out.
Okay.
And it looks gorgeous, but we're still playing this game on the Switch. Three Houses, pushed the Switch. You'll find out when you play it because the load times, a little egregious.
Chugga chugga.
Chugga chugga choo choo. And it seems to me like this game is... Three Houses did so well. Why couldn't you make it another original story? That story is so good.
If we put Marth and Roy in there, though, people will buy the game.
Roy's
for
not
sure.
going to be in there.
Then I'm not buying it. I will never buy a game that doesn't have Roy.
I know you like Roy. You like his slower
I just
reverse.
love the stupid name for this like grand fantasy title, Roy.
And so it like I saw Lynn in there.
Okay.
Lynn's from the first Game Boy Fire Emblem. I don't remember what it's called in Japanese, but whatever. It was just released here.
So you're uncomfortable that there's extreme fan service.
I like getting enveloped into a world. You know what?
It does take you out when you like, oh, I summon you character from 10 games ago.
Marth. Like,
Yeah.
That's the reason his hair is half blue, is because he has Marth's spirit within him.
Okay.
Which is funny because Awakening is a sequel.
This is all in the same like universe, right? Like
No.
the Fire Emblem games are in different universes.
They're like in like a multiverse, essentially. They're going multiversal with it. This is kind of like...
So Spider-Man has taken over Fire Emblem.
Yes. And that's where I have the problem. It's just like, it's not a cool trope anymore.
It's just what everybody has to do now. I mean,
They literally summon characters from other worlds as emblems.
everyone's just been copying Sonic since the new Sonic met the old Sonic. This is just
I mean, to be fair, I saw the new Sonic.
the new movie.
The movie. It's pretty good.
Sonic 2 is pretty good. It's a pretty good movie.
It's
Compared to the
it's
first
better
one,
than
it's
the first
a
one.
lot better than the first
It's a
one.
lot better than the first one.
I would watch it again. It was that good.
I would watch it again too.
Which I would not say about Sonic 1.
Yeah, well, no, absolutely not.
But yeah, you'll still play the game.
It's a day one purchase
It'll
for me.
probably still be fun.
No, it's probably going to be great. I actually like the new camera angles they're going for in the fights. I don't know. It's too early to say. A lot of what they revealed, including Pikmin 4, which I'm super jazzed about, but they literally just showed some of the scenery, and then Miyamoto's like, hey, check this out. You'll be from the Pikmin's perspective this time. I'm like, okay.
He's like, check this out, motherfucker.
Miyamoto, and he's still promoting that Pikmin Bloom game,
Okay.
the one for mobile phones.
Oh, really?
Yes, he's still promoting that. That came out a year ago.
Okay.
And he's like, try it out. Please, try it out. I developed this. Try it out. He's obsessed with Pikmin in his old age.
We need to do a Miyamoto episode at some point. Yeah, you know, it's funny.
But it's been so well tread.
We've only talked about one Mario series, just RPG games. It's funny that we've never covered Mario here, and I like that, and we'll not touch it.
I don't really want to touch on it. How many people have?
Everybody.
It feels a little tread.
Yeah.
All right, and then I'm thinking,
You know what's funny? Tyler Melly's probably never played like Mario Brothers 3 or Mario World because that guy just hasn't played a lot of classics. I just would cross my fingers he's never
I want
really
to see
played.
him play World so
Yeah.
badly.
I don't know if he
him
has.
I want him to try to use the cape
What do I do here?
back and forth. Really?
Yeah.
No, there were a few other things that stuck out to me. I meant to play the Harvestella demo.
We're going to take a quick break to hear from some of the other amazing shows from the HyperX Podcast Network. We'll be
Sure.
back to talk about Harvestella, and I have a little bit other news as well. We'll be right back.
Hey, Joe, Brandon, do you want to review everything?
No,
Yes.
no. Hang on. That sounds like a lot of work.
It's not.
What do you mean?
Yeah, it's not.
Podford Review, the podcast where we review everything and anything and get lost along the way. Find this podcast and more on the HyperX Podcast Network.
Hello, my name's Jonathan Dunn, host of the O3C podcast. Every week I'm joined by my two best gaming buddies, Chris and Minty, and we talk about the games we're playing, the games we love, and how they rank alongside our sacrosanct top 100 favourite video games of all time lists. Deep dives into gaming mechanics, history and lore abound, all topped off with lashings of irreverent wry British wit, witterings and wisdom. For details on the show and more, head to o3c.games and tune in every Monday on the HyperX Podcast Network.
What's that? Majestically cresting the horizon as it makes its way into port. Why, it's the brand new HyperX Armada monitors, mounts, and arms. Both the HyperX Armada 25 and 27 gaming monitors come bundled with a sturdy HyperX Armada mount and arm. If you need every split second of advantage when gaming, the Full HD Armada 25 and its 240Hz refresh rate are for you. If you like to soak in the graphical majesty of your gaming, you'll be eyeing the Quad HD Armada 27 with an 165Hz refresh rate. Set sail for HyperX.com or Amazon.com to start making your display Armada.
You had mentioned there, we're back, everybody. If you couldn't tell that by us talking again, it is us again.
Yeah.
Yes, check out the other amazing shows. They were all amazing. And HyperX Podcast Network, go get that shit. They're great. We love their microphones.
Absolutely.
What other trailers were you interested in, Dylan?
I saw Harvestella, a little bit more of that. It looks like a fun RPG set in this kind of world. It reminds me of like the Atelier series, which
Okay.
they also revealed the third one. I haven't even played the second one of Ryza.
Yeah.
If you recall, there was a point within the pandemic where I bought so many of those games for the Switch, and I played through every single one. And I love them. I just don't know if I have the patience for those anymore.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I do anymore. And the third one's coming out, and it's supposed to be the last one in this trilogy because they kind of shift main characters after that. Looks fine. Harvestella looks great. But after like looking at reviews for like the Delafield Chronicle, I'm not going to get that.
There's too many games. I have been looking at Live Alive again, and I do want to play that game.
You're welcome to borrow it. I beat it.
Once I get past a few more things that are on the docket, plus I have to get married. That
You have to.
our wedding is a little more elaborate than yours.
You're kidding me? We got strangers to help us get married
Yeah.
as witnesses.
Oh goodness. I had one other bit of news I wanted to talk about.
Sure.
343 Industries head and co-founder Bonnie Ross is leaving 343. Announced on September 12th. She mentioned that she had hoped to stay with Halo until the winter update, but she had cited there was a family medical issue as her reason for departing. Her team released Halo, the Master Chief Collection, Halo 4, 5, and Infinite. Production head Pierre Hintz is taking the position of studio head. The Halo franchise has been a little unloved by most of the community for some time. The Master Chief Collection was a steaming pile of garbage when released. 4 and 5 both suck. These are my opinions. And Infinite was released a full year later than it was supposed to, and it missed the launch of the Series X and was lacking co-op play and Forge mode on release. And split screen has been confirmed to never be coming.
Which is weird because they've already proven they can do that.
Yeah, they have. And other people that can just hack and mod it or whatever, they know what they're doing. They can get it to work pretty quick.
So they're just not doing it because...
I don't know. Maybe that's just something that Xbox is against, but
I liked Halo Infinite.
I love the
I
story.
enjoyed the story mode, except for the fact that you're playing past a storyline from Halo Wars 2.
Yeah, and it missed the release of the Series X by a year, which was something. I mean, when you're working for specifically your father or your mother, when you're working for your parents and they say, get your shit together, you have to do it by this day, and you miss it, it's disappointing. Not a great example, but
I mean, it still came out.
Xbox
It was fine.
Xbox owns Halo. They paid a lot for Halo, and 343 Industries has done a not great job with the series. I would say a terrible job. I mean, Master Chief Collection came out and was unplayable.
Yeah,
It
I
has since gotten fixed, and now I love the MCC.
With a several hundred gigabyte patch.
That's all it took. You know, you better buy a hard drive.
Yeah.
But
That's how I played through them.
it's Halo Infinite had a very, very strong release because it was out for free and people played it.
Yeah.
And it has also seen one of the sharpest drop-offs in player base.
Apparently, you can't find a lot of matches. It takes forever.
Very fast, too. Very fast, it dropped. It takes a while to find games, and I don't know. I would imagine this is a scenario where they wanted her to leave, and she cited family reasons as a good excuse to get out of there.
You never know.
You never know. Zack Snyder did have a family tragedy, but also DC wanted him the fuck out of those movies.
Yeah.
It was maybe a little bit of both, but I personally hope everything's fine with Bonnie Ross's family, whatever the medical issues are. But
Sure.
I would also
I don't wish people unwell.
most people,
Yeah.
but this is potentially good for the Halo series. I don't know how much of it was her decision.
I don't think a lot of this is her decision. I think
A lot of people have left, though. This isn't just her, but this is like...
I think authorship only takes you so far, and I think when you start to blame directors for certain things happening, I think you're also missing that these are teams of like a ton of people.
But
It's not just one
She's
person.
not a director. She's the studio head and co-founder. She's like the producer, the one in charge of making things happen. And who knows what could come next? In my opinion, just put Joe Staten in charge. He was the main story writer since the beginning of Halo, and he works with 343 now. Just let him do it. But that's where the situation is. Halo Infinite was a lot of fun, but I haven't played Halo multiplayer seriously since Reach, and I played Reach like crazy. Everything before them as well.
Well, that speaks to Bungie, despite the fact that Destiny 2 is just a mess in terms of introducing new players to what's going on, level of investment. Like, people who are in it hard. But try asking anyone to start a Destiny game. It's incomprehensible as to what you're doing and how you're doing it.
Yeah.
And while the shooting is the best, Destiny 2 has some of the best shooting I've ever experienced in my entire life.
Fucking great.
It
great
feels
gunplay.
fantastic. Everything feels new and different, and that's the reason I kept going. Do you think I cared about the story of Destiny 2 or even Forsaken? When spoiler alert, Cade 6 dies, the Nathan Fillion guy,
Okay.
the robot, the Exo.
And then Cade 7 shows up, I'm sure, right?
No.
We'll give it a few minutes.
Sure, when he's done playing the Rookie on ABC's The Rookie.
Yeah, I mean, Destiny, there's a whole lot of what fucking happened in that first game story-wise, but I remember playing it online and someone said, so you know Oryx is like a giant transvestite from another planet, and the fact that didn't get me excited story-wise, like there's stuff there, but...
Well, they used to hide it on cards.
Yeah, go to our website. I mean, I'm not using a Final Fantasy IX strategy guide. I'm not going to a fucking website to get the story here.
Either tell it through emergent storytelling or don't tell it fucking at all. Because like they'll say gobbledygook. You remember even the first one? I played the first build. I played Destiny day one.
Yeah,
That wizard came from the moon.
I don't have a lot of issues with Peter Dinklage's performance.
I don't
And
either. I think he's
Dinklebot was
supposed to be
fine.
a robot. I think he was supposed to be a robot. But when you say that wizard came from the moon and you don't explain what a wizard is and you don't understand that the moon has a colony of some sort on it.
That was the issue.
Well, that's the issue. That's why it sounded so fucking ridiculous. Because if you say, like, in a fantasy series, that wizard came from the moon, you're like, ooh, that's kind of interesting.
Whoa, like what's happening here?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
But it's also the need for endless replayability, weekly missions that you have to do 1,000 times. And if they had
Multiplayer kept me going, though.
if they had stayed with a continuous story that got the point across, and then you can go back and redo extra missions, like, oh, there's also the darkness is taking over Mars, fight the Cabal there. I don't need a lot to do extra missions after the fact, but they need an engaging story to get the point. Oh, that's what's happening. That's who this is. Instead of going to the Destiny Wikipedia page and finding out that Oryx was a transvestite god with multiple wives or something. It's like, I don't know. I don't know that whole story. There's more to it, but
Well, yeah, I know, but it's also
that's because I'm not going to go to a fucking website.
But it's also like you get these raids and they're just small levels that you repeat over and over, hoping to get better loot. And it's a loot 'em shoot 'em. I understand,
Rock'em sock'em.
but I'm also just you give me some character investment here. Truly, I mean, like all you need to do is make some really solid characters, and apparently there are standout ones. I couldn't tell you what they're named.
Yeah, and
There's Bald Titan. There's Bald.
Zavala. And he's only great because of the voice actor.
I know it's
I'm from The Wire. My name is Zavala. I can't.
yeah.
do it,
What's his
but-
name? Fuck.
He's awesome. He's
great.
he's the new Wesker until he's not now.
Oh yeah, perfect. And then there's Bald Mage. Wizard? No,
Lady
what are they
Wizard.
called? Warlocks. Warlocks. Okay. They tried to do a whole thing. Hunters are thieves.
Yeah.
Rogues, which is cool.
How stupid is it that we can't name characters from one of the biggest franchises?
I just can't. I only remember Cade 6 because Nathan Fillion did such a good job voice acting him.
He is such a good voice actor. He took a non-character and made it into a character.
I know, yeah. I mean, you don't care about Cade 6, and I'll be honest with
Cabal
you.
have taken over Mars. It's like, and then you have that guy, Zavala, I forget his name.
Zavala.
Zavala is the character, but you can't just have voice actors carry they can't throw the entire story on their backs and make it work. You had Terrence Stamp as the speaker to the fucking planet or whatever it was in the first game, and you gave him nothing to do, nothing to know about. We are fighting a war, Destiny 2. It's like, what are you talking about?
Also, Destiny 2 was released, I believe, 2 years after Destiny 1.
And I don't like that it's Destiny 2. Destiny
think
should
they
just be like
stopped.
one unified experience.
Well, that's what they originally planned on. But they realized that the bones of what they made was just impossible to just keep working with. Because that first one, despite the fact that once you get to the Forsaken King is actually a pretty decent game, where they actually explain a bit more of the story.
The Taken King.
Sorry.
No, Forsaken's
Forsaken's
another one. But Taken King.
All of these names.
Taken King, though, was such a good expansion. And
Yes.
I really got into it for a while.
Yeah, it's good.
It was great. Do you have any other news you want to talk about?
There were a lot of indies being dropped. What still fascinates me about Nintendo is that they're like, hey, check out this game. It's called It Takes Two, and it's going to be released in 4 months. But
Have you ever heard of a
it's
little
everywhere.
game called Crash Bandicoot 1?
Yeah,
Coming
exactly.
to Switch.
It's like, this game, pretty cool, huh? And I'm just like, you're not introducing this for the first time.
Zidane is a monkey boy who likes a princess.
He's a genome.
We have one more beer we're drinking from Ryan today. This is called Stubborn Cowboy.
Ooh, I love that.
It's a 6% steely-eyed iron slinger of a Saison brewed with Merlot blended grapes from Panther Island Brewing. So both of these beers from Ryan today are from islands in Texas, which is funny to me.
It's a Sam Elliott right on the front.
Oh, yeah, it is.
To the Quinine Cowboy.
To the Quinine Cowboy, the Juniper Jester.
Wow.
Subtle. I'm not getting a ton of fruit, which is nice.
No, it's actually highly drinkable. I expected something a little thicker, I guess.
And I don't love Saisons, but I could drink quite a bit of this.
Yeah, eventually the sourness would kind of get to me.
Yeah, I like the grapes bring it to a drinkable level. It's not based on the spice. It's a little more subtle.
Yeah, there's a lot of like wine notes in this.
Yeah.
Like even a Pinot.
Yeah.
Huh.
More like
It's good.
more like PS, am I right?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. So what have you been playing lately, Dylan?
A lot. Too much to count. I should have really written a list.
What
I've got
stands
highlights.
out? Yeah, get some highlights.
Because I jump from game to game to game, and because I kind of want to sample everything. I think in my old age, it's now become very hard for me to sit with a game and focus on it. I think it might be my ADD as I get older. I don't know, or my autism. I don't, whatever.
Your marriage.
My marriage,
You're married now. Like, it's all just taking the garbage out. You don't get to have any time to play games.
She forces me to do the dishes. Actually, I like doing dishes.
Me too.
That's a fun fact.
I do all of them here.
Yeah, I like having a clean kitchen.
Yeah.
It's one of my big things.
It takes 5 seconds.
And you can listen to podcasts and shit while you do it. It's great.
Watch a YouTube video.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, fine, fuck it. I most recently I started Deathloop
Because it came to Game Pass.
because it came to Game Pass.
I have it downloaded. I haven't played it yet.
Finally, another reason not to play or own a PS5. Another reason not to own a PS5.
Game Pass is so superior.
It is so superior, and it looks just as good.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, maybe like the trigger like I really want that the better haptic feedback or like the pressurized controllers. But
also, you don't have to buy this game to try it. And
I already got it.
Yeah. Is Deathloop good?
I've only played maybe 4 hours of it, so I can't give you a ton of.
I love this, not enough to give like a proper thoughts yet.
But I have to.
Yeah.
I can't give you like, because I love the Dishonored games, and that's this company, Arcane.
Yeah.
And I think this is really good. Talk to me again once, because I've heard people get into this game pretty quick and then they fall off. These are what I've heard from reviews. I'm curious as to how well it will hold me, because the Dishonored games are all about stealth and espionage and all this stuff. And it kind of reads as like a thief story. This one reads more like a pseudo 60s spy thriller, which has a lot of stealth elements still too. It's a little too funny about itself, which I'm kind of annoyed with, but I'm liking it. And the gameplay is just chef's kiss, in my opinion.
My tolerance for bullshit is all over the place. Sometimes it's 0, and sometimes I can play Dragon Ball Z, Goku, whatever it is.
Well, I mean, it's also like I borrowed Tales of Arise from Tom.
Yeah.
The newest one in the Tales series. It's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Though I wish they talked less.
Yeah.
They got to learn when to shut these characters up.
Yeah.
Sometimes a little goes a long way.
It should be optional.
Well, okay, so if you have a cutscene, right? And it's a big long cutscene, and it's like, oh, cool, I'm about to enter this dungeon, and I can just, go through the dungeon. You get 5 steps, and then another cutscene occurs. And you're just like, okay, well,
like
you could have
like
done
Mega Man
that.
X5 or something. It's like,
I know.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit much.
Yeah.
And so I'm really enjoying it. The best combat it's ever had whatsoever.
Cool.
They also revealed Tales of Symphonia is coming to the Switch. My favorite Tales game, but
it's like a remaster, right?
it's the remaster that's built off the PS3 version, which also had the sequel in it that they're not bringing to the Switch, even though it was a Wii game, the sequel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
How much are you going to charge me for this? Because will I want to play it on handheld?
$60.
I swear to God, if they do that, I'm going to burn the world down.
Yeah. Side note, Assassin's Creed, we didn't talk about this in the news, but they announced a new Assassin's Creed Mirage game.
Mirage, yeah.
It's
Okay.
going to only be like $50 or $40 when it's released.
If it's 40, I'll buy it.
Because the gameplay, they're like
just stealth again.
No, the story is like it's a small story. It's only going to be like 8 or 9 hours or something, which to me maybe 4 or 5 hours.
That sounds really good.
But
I tried Origins. I couldn't do it.
I appreciate that they're making the concession. They say this is a new game. It's not that big of an experience compared to the things we've done before. That is a sign of goodwill that Assassin's Creed, when you announce 3 games after you've had like a little bit more of a break and you've released a lot of good ones recently. But also I'm wary and we'll see.
These Ubisoft ones too. I don't like. They everywhere has levels now. And I played Origins up until a point where I was supposed to save a man who was trapped on an island a little further off, and he was being surrounded by gators, I think.
Yeah.
Or sharks.
Yep.
And that's supposed to be an early level quest. There was no way for me to save this guy. And I was just like, how the hell do I do this? I can't fight these things in their water. What am I supposed to... Can you tell me what I was supposed to do? Because...
Range combat?
Yeah, my arrows did shit.
I don't know. I think I remember that quest, but
huge balancing issues, especially with like the leveling system and where you go and how you get things done.
All of that being said, though, I do think that's games that are just being re-released or smaller experiences. I think it should become more commonplace for games to release less than the $60 price tag. So if Tales is $50 or $40 for the game,
I will pay literally $20 for it. That's it.
Yeah, so don't buy it on
$20.
You won't buy it on the Switch then.
Probably not.
No.
I own it.
Remember
2
Tropical
times over.
Freeze from the Wii U? We got it on sale for $58. Get it now because this is the cheapest you're going to see it.
I went a full 60 on that one though.
I've seen it down to like 42 and I'm like, nope. I still have the Wii U version. I love that game, but I got
the physical Switch one.
Yeah.
I'm good. Funky Kong mode included.
I don't want it easier though. Funky's just easy mode.
Yeah, but when you have people over and they want to play it like Matt.
Yeah. Isn't he cool? He's got sunglasses. Yeah, I love this guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. Look at him. He's like from the 90s. Do you remember the 90s?
Anything else you've been playing?
Yeah, quite a bit.
That's a silly question for me to ask.
A few quick ones.
I'm giving you a layup.
Tinykins. It's on Game Pass. It's a Pikmin-like, but it's an excellent collectathon platformer. I recommend it to everyone. It is actually completely digestible. You can get through this game maybe in 8 hours. It's fine.
Okay.
And truly, it just feels good to play. Visually, it's stunning. They've got like this Paper Mario type character in these like real world environments, but you're little and small.
Okay.
And then you use these Tinykins in order to open up passages and do certain things. It's really fucking good.
Sounds good.
Immortality.
I
If
wish
you
I
have
had
not
it.
played Immortality, well,
Maybe. I think I would want it. Yeah, I'd take it.
I mean, I don't know. You should actually play Immortality with Carly. I think she'd like it.
Okay, it's about plants.
No, it's an FMV game.
Oh, okay. She might like it. then.
Maker of Her Story and Telling Lies. It's really good. It's got me and the wife hooked.
Yeah.
It's actually legitimately good, and you're not going to know what you're doing until it kind of reveals itself, because you're going to be fumbling.
Yeah.
But once you kind of get what's going on, it's really fucking awesome.
Okay.
Then
Is that on Game Pass?
it's on Game Pass. Yeah,
That's
It's
all.
free.
That's all you gotta say, man.
All these are on Game Pass. Do you think I'm buying games so much?
I downloaded on Game Pass the other day. You Suck at Parking. I haven't played it, but I downloaded it for Carly.
It's okay, because she sucks at parking.
She's gotten really good.
She's gotten good. I look at your eyes. It's fine.
I just thought it was a funny name for a game, and
It's not bad.
Game Pass is awesome.
Oh my god, Game Pass! I can't stop. Like a new game comes out, and I'm like, I would never ever play this, but I'll tell you what.
I got a half an hour. I will download it and play it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can give it a try, and if it works, it works. I mean, that's how I know Tyler's household has gotten obsessed with Lawn Mowing Simulator. Great, great. That's awesome. That you
I like
can,
Power Washing Simulator.
I mean, that's awesome that you can play these games.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited for the beer brewing game that's coming out because that's on Game Pass, and it's got the voice of Disco Elysium.
oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so
I mean, I'll play it.
and it's on Game Pass day one.
Oh my god, Game Pass day one.
And PS5's like, we got a PS2 game.
Do you think Starfield is going to be day one Game Pass?
That should have been in the news, maybe. Starfield's the one that was on Kickstarter, right? No, what am I?
No, Starfield is the new Bethesda one.
Ah,
that
yeah.
looks exactly like
isn't-
No Man's
I think
Sky.
that is Game Pass day one.
Oh fuck! I don't have to do anything no more.
No,
This is great.
no, just pay for a yearly subscription. They've figured it out, and maybe they're doing the model of get everybody on here, and then we can slowly raise prices and make it not
Take
as
some
great.
things- well, what they do is, especially with the indies, is they put it on for 6 months, then they take it off.
Yeah, I found out.
A lot of my stuff is old.
I went to just go start up Hades, and the Xbox save is my big one. The Switch is my small one, but Xbox said, "Do you own this game?" And I said, "You bastards!"
It's a fair model though, because of the value compared to what.
Just because I've already played it 100 hours doesn't mean it's a great value, right? Just kidding. But now I will go buy the game. It's something that I do want
good
access to,
incentive.
and it's only like $15-20 now. I will buy it on 2 different systems because Game Pass got me hooked on it.
I mean, I love it on the Switch. It's my favorite way to play it.
I love that they can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I got excited.
No, it's fine. I love it too. I'm a huge fan.
Want to hear what I've been playing?
Yes.
I'm mostly a research gamer. A lot of what I play will be in service
Force you to
in
do.
service to the podcast because I require research before I make my outline. Final Fantasy IX is almost done. I don't need to talk about that other than I'm getting to the end game portion and I am choosing my battles now because I do not want to do all of it. Yeah, I don't see the point, and that's fine. I have a wedding coming up, and then we'll talk about FF9 after that. But
That's fine.
I've been playing a lot of Castlevania, getting ready for Castlevania month, which the first episode will be coming out after this one.
Sure.
Yeah, where we talk about the first part of the series. And so I've been playing through a little bit of those all the time. one that I did want to call out was Kid Dracula. The other day, I beat it almost start to finish when I was just waiting for Carly to come home for like 45 minutes. I just put it on. Real charming Famicom game.
No, it's a Game Boy.
No, there's a Game Boy one, but the one that I played is the Famicom one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's one on both.
Sure, okay.
But it's a little more approachable and accessible. It reminds me a little bit of Tiny Toons Adventures. And
it's cute.
There's mini games. You fight a chicken. You fight a KKK member. A lot of great things, you know. And I actually enjoyed that quite a bit. And apart from that, I downloaded Mega Man Z/ZX Collection. Dylan just made a strong face. Those are supposed to be good ones, though, right?
Supposed to.
Well, compared to the rest, relatively.
I find these games impossible.
They're very hard. So the collection adds a lot of extra options where you can just set up this like save thing where there's little auto save things throughout the level. So if you die, you just get taken right back there. Thank you.
He's too big on the screen. You can't see enough in front of you.
Yeah.
I accept these things with certain games, but you're preparing for Mega Manuary again?
It's just in the background. It was on sale for cheap, and I said I'd rather not get to the point where I want to have to play a lot of these real quick. So it's just kind of in the background. I can just play it whenever. And
they're fun.
It's good to always have a Switch game available so I can play it when there's a long drive. That's mostly what it is.
It's like my Neon White. Neon White is a new game that came out.
Yeah.
You'd actually find it pretty dope. It's about like completing levels very quickly. It's card based and it's first person shooter.
Yeah.
It's kind of awesome. Like I said, I play way too many of these things. Like we could do like 5 episodes based on what Dylan played.
Yeah.
Because I'll buy things on sale and I'll just be like, oh, well, look at that.
I'll buy things on sale and look at them 3 years later and say, I own that? I'll accidentally buy a game twice, like Resident Evil 2 Remake, and just have 2 copies because I forgot that I owned it already.
I owned it on Steam, and I own it now on the Xbox Series X because I wanted a spooky game to play with my girl. So
I got a sealed version.
Jesus Christ.
I might just give it to my brother.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Give it to Brian.
Yeah. I've been playing those things, and I'm excited because Z and ZX are supposed to be harder. We're also going to cram Legends into Mega Manuary because I'm fucking over it.
I am too.
Yep. And the fact that we have the authority now that Papa Tom and Josh are out, mostly out, we can just do Raw Dogs 3 or 4 episodes in a row and be like, fuck Mega Manuary.
Yeah. Well, you know. But it's also, I love doing Hair of the Dogcast original too, which we might as well just call it that. We can ditch Raw Dogs as a name, I think.
No, not yet. I have a vision.
You have a vision, okay.
The vision will be complete, and we will get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And that's been What We've Been Playing, starring Dylan and Brad. So for today's episode, we originally had a different topic we were going to do. A previous guest we've had on a long time ago on Raw Dogs, Alex from the Super Smash Brothers episode. He was going to be a guest because he works at U-Break iFix is, I think, the name of the place.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that.
Yeah. And you were there for that episode. Alex is great. We love you. And he was going to be on for this episode, but he said yesterday, I'm really under the weather, and my wife just reminded me it's my birthday tomorrow.
Oh.
So happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And also, we're going to save it because he's actually had to repair a lot of the issues for that episode, which was going to be about common console hardware errors like Red Rings of Death and Joy-Con drifts. Sure. So he knows a lot of what's going on hardware-wise. So we're going to save that one for another one.
Talk to him about Joy-Con drift.
And so today, instead, we're going to be doing a ranking episode where Dylan and I go back to games we have talked fully about. So
we're gonna rank.
It's ranking. It's Honey, We Rank the Kids is what I'm naming this episode.
Oh, okay.
And so previously on Raw Dogs, we talked about all of BioWare as a topic. We won't talk about those because we didn't talk in depth about those games. We kind of did an overview. But games like Death Stranding or certain games that we did talk in depth about, we will just add to our previous ranking we did, which we've got a current list from the indie games is where we've started. And
Well, we already did the indie games.
but we're going to add to that list.
Oh, okay.
So the indie games, we have a list of 10 so far.
Okay.
Kentucky Route Zero is number 1.
I think it deservedly.
Oh, deservedly for sure.
Yeah.
But so we're going to just start games we've talked about, and we're going to just see where they fall.
I'm excited. I like this.
So first one we're going to talk about is Punch Out for the Nintendo, because and this is one of those things too where
I know
we didn't talk about Super Nintendo one as much, or the later ones, the Wii ones. I haven't played through those to completion, but ones that I know you and I have both played, like Punch Out Nintendo. So
I'm not huge on it.
first thing we'll do is Punch Out Nintendo versus Disco Elysium.
Disco Elysium.
I concur. Disco Elysium is great. Punch Out Nintendo versus Undertale.
Punch Out.
I agree. Punch Out versus Cinemora. I would go Cinemora over
Yeah,
Punch
I'll
Out.
go Cinemora, yeah.
Okay. So if you and I get to a spot where we profoundly disagree, we will do a rock, paper, scissors match to decide.
Or we can debate
we can have a debate, and if we are in a standstill, though,
Okay. Fair enough.
we will do that.
That's okay.
Okay. We're going to do the Arkham games.
Okay.
Arkham Asylum. Love Arkham Asylum. Batman Exploring an Asylum. Good villain stuff. Great opening to a trilogy. Arkham Asylum versus Cuphead.
Cuphead. It's a better video game.
I would prefer Cuphead. Arkham Asylum versus Undertale.
Arkham Asylum.
Arkham Asylum versus Cinemora.
Arkham Asylum.
I concur. Arkham Asylum is now at number 7. Okay. Arkham City versus Arkham Asylum. Tell me, why do you prefer Arkham Asylum or City over each other?
Asylum is a tighter experience. It's a bit more of a Metroidvania, which actually appeals to me.
I don't like in Arkham City that look at this big world. You can't go to this spot, though.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. You can't go there, though.
Within the Asylum, it is more of a detective game. You are more of a detective. It actually feels more Batman than any other video game. Asylum is just hands down just the better version.
I was thinking,
People really just think of Batman as the scary guy who beats people up. I never found Batman scary.
he is a billionaire wearing a bat costume.
Yeah, he goes out in pajamas and he fucks shit up.
Christopher Nolan did everything he could to make him scary, and I still wasn't too scared of him.
he wasn't scary.
I was scared of I was scared of his money.
I'm not scared of a man who can't turn his neck to face
I was thinking about Arkham Asylum recently when we were talking about Symphony of the Night.
Yeah.
Spoiler warning: we already recorded some of Castlevania a month ahead of time. If you're on Patreon, you know that. But people say Asylum is a Metroidvania, and to an extent, it is.
It's not quite, but it's also just a tighter.
It's less open. You get it. You're like, I can go back to Poison Ivy's place now.
Yeah.
It's still very linear.
Yeah.
Whereas a Metroidvania at some point, I feel like needs to be opening up. And even Metroid Dread doesn't do a lot of opening up. It's
No, it
still like
doesn't.
fairly
No,
linear,
yeah.
which is my issue with that game.
Yeah, but I love that game so much. It's so tight.
I do love it as well.
Tight.
It's fucking point. So cities below Asylum, I concur. Arkham City or Undertale?
Undertale.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I know you don't like Undertale.
I don't like Arkham City at all.
Yeah.
I don't. And I don't like Arkham Knight. Spoiler alert.
Arkham City is the weakest of the trilogy, in my opinion. I mean, who's the main villain in Arkham City? You have Doctor Strange, Mr. Professor
Hugo Strange.
Hugo Strange, Mr. Professor Strange is what they call
Mr.
him.
Professor Strange.
Yep.
Yeah.
The plot twist isn't great in that,
No,
and
I just didn't care.
that's the one where you kill the Joker, or is that you? Do you kill the Joker?
You killed the Joker in the first one.
No, isn't it Arkham City? Arkham City is where you kill him. He's suffering.
It's revealed he's got like cancer or something from taking like that big Bane serum or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't see. It's fine. It's more comic book crap.
The problem is when you have Mark Hamill, who's so great at being the Joker.
Yeah.
And, oh, fuck, we killed our best asset.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, we'll have him be
now
a
he's
figment
Troy.
of Batman's imagination.
Now they let Mr. Handsome Troy Baker play Joker and everything.
And Joker sings a country song on a guitar. Here's a little song for you.
I made myself laugh today.
I laughed myself today to see
Yeah.
if I still laughed.
My God.
So you'd say Undertale,
Undertale, yeah.
Untitled Goose Game, or Arkham City?
Arkham City, unfortunately. I think Untitled Goose Game is fine.
It's a fine game. It's not anything
it's
that
not
would rank high.
Yeah, it's
Nex Machina or Arkham City? I put Nex Machina above Arkham City.
Nex Machina. I've only played a little bit of it, but I can tell you that much.
What are your thoughts on Arkham Knight?
I got bored.
I thought Arkham Knight's gameplay was so good.
Oh, I'm getting old now, and I can feel it in my bones and my guts
Your plums.
and my plums. They're drooping.
Yeah.
And
Come on now, plums. Get along now, little
come on now,
plummies.
plums. You used to be right up there.
My plums are behind me.
I do not sympathize with Batman as a character. Okay,
I'm going to win, Alfred.
I don't sympathize with him as a character. I disagree with what he does in general. I find him hard to read, and even in the comic books, because I'm like, this is a child's idea of what a hero should be.
Well, I also don't think you need to sympathize with Batman because
No.
it's more about you as the player fighting against the villain.
I know, but even then, I'm like, could you not have like run for mayor or something?
Could you not have put $1 billion into fixing the problems?
Yeah, put it into.
I bought a tank, Alfred.
I bought a cool tank, Alfred.
Can we paint it?
Don't worry, Alfred. The bullets are rubber.
Alfred, do you think bats are cool looking?
They'll go into a coma for 3 years and then eventually get CTA and kill their wives. But
I ran over like 50 people. Can we get machine guns on the Batmobile again?
we'll replace the wheels with balloons. I as cool as Batman is, Arkham Knight, fine.
I think Arkham Knight might not be a great Batman story. I think it is a fantastic game, though. I love the gameplay.
Sure.
It is a beautiful game.
Yeah.
Flying is great. The puzzle solving has never been too intense on those, but the different ways to approach combat in that game is extremely refined. Anything that Arkham City did well, this does better and to a bigger extent.
It's true.
I do love Arkham Knight. I do think it's a great game. Arkham Knight or Arkham Asylum?
Arkham Asylum.
See, I'll take Arkham Knight over Arkham Asylum gameplay wise.
Sure, but just one is a better experience than the other. It's tighter. It's a better story. It's a better comic book game.
I would like to do a rock, paper, scissors on this one.
Okay.
So what we'll do is 1, 2, 3, and then say rock, paper, or scissors so the audience can hear what we do.
Okay.
So it'll be like 1, 2, 3 thing.
Scissors. Okay.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3,
Rock.
paper.
Damn it. Okay.
So Arkham Knight
enough.
is ahead. Arkham Knight or Disco Elysium? I'm going to take Disco Elysium. That was intense. Okay. Up next. Oh, shit. Bloodborne.
Okay.
Bloodborne or Hollow Knight? I'm just gonna start up
Bloodborne.
higher.
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne or Hades?
Bloodborne.
I 100% agree. So right now it's fighting for the number one spot.
I understand.
Bloodborne or Kentucky Route Zero? I'm taking Bloodborne.
I'm taking Bloodborne.
Bloodborne is awesome. Bloodborne is the fusion of cosmic horror, intense gameplay. It's my first experience, my first time experiencing a
Soulsborne.
Soulsborne, and
Hence half the name.
yeah, instead of it just being a Souls,
Yeah.
like a Dark Souls, like it's a Soulsborne now, and
Yeah.
that was a very defining experience of that year playing through that game. And I got half my leg tattooed.
Yeah.
And
That means something.
when I was thinking about Elden Ring, which I didn't put it on this list because I'm not ready to rank it yet. But Elden Ring,
I could. Bloodborne's still better.
Elden Ring's up there.
Elden Ring is. I have started to see the cracks within Elden Ring that I have never seen before.
Because we've talked about it for like 10 hours.
It's not even that. It is the problems with that game are so much deeper.
But it's still Game of the Year contender easily in my.
Oh yeah, Game of the Year contender. I'll agree with you. I'm gonna have a hard time arguing anything else, but I will.
But
for the sake of being the devil.
But I was thinking about one thing specifically, Bloodborne versus Elden Ring. If I were to get an Elden Ring, another like half leg tattoo.
Sure, you're running out of space.
I am, but I was thinking about bosses I would want tattooed, and the designs for Bloodborne, striking. Like all the bosses, Vicar Amelia, Mikolash, like you can just go anywhere. Father Gascoigne, they all have such great silhouettes and looks and designs. Elden Ring, General Radahn, great character. I don't love the way he looks necessarily. No. You have the Grafted, Godric the Grafted,
who looks great.
He looks great, but having 30 arms on a guy on a tattoo wouldn't look good.
No,
I mean, Ronnie would be a good tattoo.
You could have the same shack that they reproduce 400 times. You could just put the shack.
Which, like, why'd you get that 20 times? They're different shacks. They're not the same tattoo.
This is the one from the south where he asks if what you're doing at this end of the earth.
Can you see there's a treasure chest on this one? So, all right. But Bloodborne
wins, yeah.
Mega Man X. I only put Mega Man X 1 because I know we've both beaten this one.
I've beaten up through 3.
Well, we'll just put 1X on this for now.
That's fine.
I love Mega Man X1.
I think it's great.
Great game, fun.
Stellar.
Redefined a series.
Yeah.
Mega Man X or Arkham Knight?
Mega Man X.
I agree. Mega Man X or Hollow Knight?
Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight definitely would take that for me. Mega Man X or Cuphead?
Cuphead.
I would take Cuphead as well. I think Cuphead is a better game.
Just artistically and playability.
And design-wise.
Yeah.
Mega Man X is great, but Cuphead, there's a lot more.
Mega Man X can be described as a perfect game for an era.
Now, we might we agree on a lot of these.
Oh, we're coming up to the difficult ones.
A couple more. These next couple will be difficult.
Okay, that's fine.
Final Fantasy VIII.
Okay.
Final Fantasy VIII or Disco Elysium?
Final Fantasy VIII.
Just Disco Elysium.
Okay.
But I will do a concession since I got Knight.
Okay.
I think that's acceptable because I know you have such strong feelings for 8.
I think what 8 is. It's really hard to describe, and it's really just not like nostalgia glasses. I think that game is legitimately very good.
Yeah. I think it is 100% nostalgia glasses. The game is good.
Yeah.
It's of its time, and as someone who played it for the first time later on, the characters, I think, are bland compared to other Final Fantasy games. Just seeing
they're also meant to be stereotypes of a drama from, like a Japanese anime.
But seeing Steiner and Vivi,
who are so rich, and I know.
Oh, every time one of them says something, and it's great. Like Steiner's
look good.
Steiner's super pissed,
Yeah.
and everyone's like, "We're not doing it." And Vivi's like, "Can we do it?" It's like, "Of course, Master Vivi, right this way."
Yeah.
Vivi, yes, of course.
It's
just fun. And
I know.
I didn't have fun with these characters, and surprisingly, I thought Laguna was the most fun. Like
Laguna's
his story,
the best Final Fantasy character.
I mean, I'm with you there, but So I will concede FF8 over Disco Elysium, although
right.
I do like Elysium more. So FF8 or Hollow Knight,
Hollow Knight,
FF8 or Cuphead.
Cuphead.
Okay, I saw you made a tough decision there. Up next,
We're breaking open another one.
we got another beer here. We got Mexican Honey Light, provided to us by favorite dogcaster of mine, Brad.
Perfect.
He's one of my favorites.
Cheers, buddy.
He's in my top 3 dogcasters
All right,
of all time.
I want to hear some controversial ones.
Final Fantasy VII. PS1. We've covered this game more than any game.
I wanted
ever.
to die at the end of that.
As far as the PS1 game, we've done 3 episodes, I believe, for the PS1. Insane amount of nostalgia for me.
Me too.
I also can see cracks and where it's not great, where it's not perfect.
It's not even close to being perfect.
Agreed. For the time, for what it meant, it's important, but that's not what we're judging.
Right.
We're
No,
not talking
it's
about
true.
it today. We're talking about it today, not of like when it came out.
Sure.
That being said, Final Fantasy VII or Disco Elysium, I'm going Disco Elysium.
Yeah. Yep.
Final Fantasy VII or Arkham Knight,
Final Fantasy VII.
I'm taking Final Fantasy VII.
Yes.
I think it belongs right in the middle of our list.
It does, yeah. I agree.
And that's okay. Would you put it over Arkham Asylum?
Yes.
Okay, so it's right where it belongs.
For tone and atmosphere, Final Fantasy VII far surpasses anything that... I think the one reason that it survived so well and people still lauded it and replayed it, I think that everything about that game in terms of it's like emotionality and how it actually pulls the player in, just the way the game looks in general, despite the fact that they are all painted backgrounds that the characters are running through on like an imaginary space.
Yeah.
You still kind of see... You still get like the atmosphere of it.
And what it is partially the music. Nobuo Uematsu and PS1 level sounds. Mm-hmm. That soundtrack is, to this day, top 5. And that's me being a little cautious.
Oh, no, I agree with you, though, actually, because...
One of the best soundtracks ever made. And
right.
To me, that is lullabies. That is background. Like, that is one of the most calming, nostalgic musics I could ever have. That and Christmas music. Like, that's how much
It might as well be the video game version of that.
Yeah, that's what I hold it to.
Yep.
And there's a reason that I will go see Final Fantasy orchestras. And it's usually, largely because of 7. And that's also led to my love for other games.
I famously don't like a lot of the remakes versions of them. That's also the problem, but...
I do like them, most of them. But there's a lot. There's just like such a...
I know.
There's a wide
huge
berth
breadth.
of options, yeah. So that being said, Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Okay.
I love this game. FF7 Remake is my favorite action RPG gameplay system I've ever had. The only thing that I would, and that's being played on hardcore master mode, whatever it's called.
Sure.
Where things are extremely limited and you have to know what you're doing gameplay wise.
I understand, and I've done that mode.
And I get a lot more out of it when you have to heavily rely on materia and items are no longer something you can really utilize.
Sure.
I think the way that they expanded on the story, the way that they are revising the universe to make it fresh and unique is...
they're not quite revising.
They will be. Now, at the end of Remake, they have established anything's possible because they have...
Well, we should do a spoiler alert here. If you have not played it, go and play it. Please skip ahead maybe 30 seconds.
This is a sequel.
This is a sequel.
Which I think is brilliant.
I think that part of it is brilliant. I think that part of it actually rules. I think the ideas they have for the sequel are dumb. So I don't like the whispers. They're such a dumb Deus Ex Machina.
And that is what's the fucking Kingdom Hearts guy?
Zemnis.
No. That was the fucking creator.
It is oh my God. Oh, we are such idiots.
I think it's because we blocked it out of our minds specifically.
Oh my God. I constantly shout his name to the stars.
A lot of belts.
Just look it up. Edit it in.
I think, though, that the Whispers will be left back.
Starts with an N.
I think they will be left back in the remake.
No, I think they defeated the Whispers, and now they've defeated Fate.
And now it is open to anything can happen.
Zack's still alive.
The problem is that after FF7, they expanded the universe into areas they didn't need to. With Dirge of Cerberus, Crisis Core was a good game. I'm okay with this new PS5 one coming. That will not be a day one for me by any stretch.
Dirge of Cerberus is coming back out?
Crisis Core.
Oh, it's also coming out on the Switch.
Yeah, and that's fine. Crisis Core was a good game, but anything to do with expanding the FF7 universe is usually 99% a bad idea.
I think it's the same way that I kind of treat a lot of Star Wars. Like, you have to pick and choose what you think and believe.
Mostly it's been... Actually, I'm walking that way back. It's been fine, some of it. I haven't watched Andor yet. I'm excited for it. Because I think that is at least an interesting step back from Jedi.
Sure.
Yeah.
But even then, I'm just like, well, we know how he dies.
I don't care about the destination. I care about the journey.
Okay, well,
Maybe there's a good journey.
I care about destinations.
Maybe Akbar is an illegitimate child. That would be exciting to me. We don't know.
I'm a bastard.
Who's my father? My father and mother had 200 kids.
Are you telling me my father is Darth Vader?
Welcome to The Bachelor.
Oh, God.
Are you my sister?
Oh, God.
Fish. There's a lot of fish.
Mon Calamari Bachelor.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Bachelor Mon Calamari. FF7 remake, though.
Versus
FF7.
FF7.
I'm going remake.
Fuck. I just don't see how you can possibly do that.
The gameplay. The gameplay is so much better in the remake.
It's fine.
I love it. And I love where
Just better Kingdom Hearts.
It is. And it is, I
like the combo system. I
like how the different characters play differently, the way you switch between them, very fluid. I like that everyone the way the battlefield works is very fun.
I hate that it all takes place in Midgard. It seems like a proof of concept rather than an actual thing. And the stuff they tell you, the in-betweens, totally unnecessary.
I agree there. I don't need Barrett in a science lab, even though that there's enjoyable gameplay, because I also like being constricted to a certain play style for a while. And
I don't mind that. Well, I do like him just shooting the barrels off the walls.
And the wonky physics there.
I know.
I will stand by remake over 7. It's up to you if you want to rock, paper, scissors for it.
I'll rock, paper, scissors, yeah.
So, okay.
You go.
1, 2. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you were ready. 1, 2, 3, scissors. 1, 2, 3,
rock.
Scissors. Damn it. All right. 7 remake or Arkham Knight?
7 remake.
Okay. That's going to be like the breaking point right there.
Yeah.
For those listening, I think 7 remake belongs a little higher.
Well,
but that's the name of the game. That's what we're doing here.
I think it's an incomplete game by its definition.
Yakuza Like a Dragon. I thoroughly enjoyed this game. I think that the way it expands upon the Yakuza universe, the way it makes it into an RPG, the character, the main character, Ichiban, incredibly likable.
Yes.
It's hard to imagine someone
He's a shonen character, essentially.
Someone that leaves a more indelible, strong impression after a game as someone who's begging every villain, please, you're my family. Just someone that is so desperate for peace that also wields a bat.
Sure. I do like this game. I got bored with it, unfortunately. I think at a certain point it drags once you get to the class system, which gets introduced way too far into it.
Yeah.
And a lot of those classes are completely useless.
Yeah, I would agree. It's fun to explore them before you realize they're useless, though.
It's fun to explore them, but to realize they're useless makes you. It's not a catch-22. That'd be a dumb way to describe it. How can I say it? It also makes you feel like you were led down like the primrose path. Like it makes it's not valuable.
It does a thing where it would rather break than bend. And so imagine
I love
it's like Final Fantasy.
Experimentation was their choice, though.
Compared to Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
Auron can break through an enemy's hard shell much easier than Wakka. Wakka can attack range enemies, but there is also plasticity where other characters can do damage to this. Yakuza Like a Dragon does this thing where if you don't use the right spells, you just won't damage an enemy, and it becomes kind of an impassable thing, which I don't like.
which I think is
I think there should be
fine.
I think it should bend a little bit rather than it's either do this or break.
My problem is also just the repetitive nature of the combat. There is not a lot of strategy involved. When your character runs up and does something, their position on the battlefield is like it's cemented. And then like you have to deal with where they are on the battlefield from there. And sometimes it works well and sometimes it doesn't, but there's no method to the madness.
One of the dumbest things is when your character runs over to this other enemy and this is a stupid battle. I'm going to go do something important that I'm actually trying to do. And so then the rest of the battle's taking place way over here. You have to wait for your character to run all the way back to do one attack.
Yep.
And
it's not a great battle system. I'm excited for the next one. And I said that.
For this to be their first game as an RPG, it's fun and impressive. They will get it better.
That impresses me. Like, that is also the reason why I don't give it such a hard time.
It's so silly that they took Yakuza and they're like, oh yeah, RPG. They did an April Fool's joke and they went there, but
Absolutely.
Ichi is such a good character that I think it overcomes some problems.
I like the whole cast.
Yakuza Like a Dragon or FF7 Remake. I'm going 7 Remake there.
I'll do 7 Remake.
Yakuza Like a Dragon or Arkham Asylum.
Yakuza Like a Dragon.
I'll go with you.
Okay.
Yakuza Like a Dragon or Arkham Knight.
Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Okay. Yakuza Like a Dragon. Okay, up next. Super Monkey Ball 1 for the GameCube.
Okay.
Fantastic game.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful game. Great gameplay. Great mini games.
Tons of fun.
Low-key the best launch title for the GameCube. Everybody that bought games are just like, I don't know, I'll buy Wave Race and I guess Monkey Ball or this, and then I guess Monkey Ball.
I mean, it's no Katamari Damacy, but you know.
That wasn't a launch game for the GameCube. But
it wasn't on the GameCube.
But Monkey Ball was everybody's like second or third purchase as a launch title, and it's what everyone talks about wind up playing the most that first night.
It is still fun to play.
Soundtrack's great. Mini games are great.
Sure.
Super Monkey Ball or Disco Elysium?
Pure accessibility, Monkey Ball.
I'm going Monkey Ball.
Yeah.
Not every video game is about story. This one's about insanely instant, fun, accessible gameplay. The main game...
It is essentially a marble tilt game.
How many games can be played with a thumbstick and people just get it?
But that's it. It's a marble tilt game that they modified. And then they made it different. And then they gave you stuff to do within the marble game. It's Monkey Ball all the way.
Monkey Ball or Cuphead?
Wow. Cuphead personally.
I think I'd go Monkey Ball, but I don't have strong feelings. How strong is your Cuphead feelings?
I just have to defend Cuphead.
Cuphead's hand-drawn animation is so beautiful.
I'm an art boy to a certain degree. And I love II, but come on.
I concur. Cuphead's better. And then we get to the Final Fantasy VIII versus Cuphead.
Cuphead.
Or no, Final Fantasy VIII. Final Fantasy VIII versus, Super Monkey Ball.
Final Fantasy VIII.
You'll say 8. Yeah. I say Monkey Ball. Let's have a battle.
Okay. I'm thinking the draw system rules, the modification in video games, and especially RPGs up until that point, had not been even explored in the way that it had been until Final Fantasy VIII, where certain spells add on to certain stats in those specific ways. Just the sheer amount of play. Did you not have fun eventually going through the menus of Final Fantasy VIII and being like, what's this going to do to help boost this stat? And how's this going to help this stat? The summoning system.
Absolutely. Monkey Ball. Have you heard the song in the pool game? Have you seen the monkeys drinking milk in the background?
You know what? I'm actually just going to give it to you.
You want to just give it to me? We can do a battle.
No, I'm going to do it.
Okay.
I think accessibility.
It's a perfect game. For what it is.
Yeah, I know. I have to really break it down to accessibility. I can't just be steadfast.
Super Monkey Ball 2.
Okay.
Is an inferior game in my opinion to Monkey Ball 1. It is more of the same, less original, less creative.
Less added on.
The new mini games aren't as good.
No.
I still played the fuck out of it. Monkey Ball 2 or Yakuza Like a Dragon?
Monkey Ball 2.
Okay. I would probably go Like a Dragon, but I'll do a battle on this one.
Okay.
All right. 1, 2, 3, paper. 1, 2, 3,
Rock.
paper.
Okay.
Okay. So Like a Dragon's above Monkey Ball 2. Monkey Ball 2 or Arkham Knight?
Monkey Ball 2.
Dang it, I go Monkey Ball 2 again.
Yeah.
Okay. Monkey Ball 2 it is.
Perfection.
Super Monkey Ball 2. Okay. Oh, what time we got? Oh, we got time. We got a little time here.
Okay.
Kingdom Hearts 1. Dylan, what are your thoughts on Kingdom Hearts 1?
A bare bones game with some redeeming elements. The combat is just so strictly hack and slash. When you add in the spells, if you don't choose the wand to begin with,
Yeah.
you're already doing yourself a disservice because it's literally just going to be smashing and hoping you can dodge. It doesn't feel great to play. The platforming sucks. Absolute balls.
You're being generous by saying it sucks balls.
I know.
Yeah, that's
It's
like
not
being
fun.
very nice.
I know. And so I think that game, first of all, needed more time in the oven, but I think Disney said we have a release window and this has to happen.
Anybody that says story is a strength in Kingdom Hearts is wrong.
They're absolutely wrong. We have a whole episode on this, by the way. Please listen to it. It is incomprehensible.
The gameplay, the story, the plot of Kingdom Hearts episode is still locked behind Patreon.
Oh, well, too bad for you, I guess.
And now is the record for the second most hungover episode
Oh, yeah.
that we've ever done. But
I do recall that. Was that after
the most
Halloween?
hungover episode we've ever done is Symphony of the Night recently.
I was fine.
Yeah. I got hungover the next day. Kingdom Hearts, the series strength is the gameplay. When it's good, this one isn't. But when the gameplay is good, the game is fun. And it is also can be interesting exploring certain universes.
I'm sorry. Under the Sea, dude. No.
I'm not saying Kingdom Hearts 1. Kingdom Hearts 1 isn't good. But I'm just saying when I think about what makes it work, it is when the gameplay is fleshed out later, but also the Disney worlds can be okay sometimes. Kingdom Hearts 1.
That gives a lot of credit.
Kingdom Hearts 1 versus Super Monkey Ball 2.
Super Monkey Ball 2.
Sometimes I'm just going to not even talk because I just so blindly agree with Dylan.
I know, yeah, well.
Kingdom Hearts 1 or Cinemora?
Cinemora.
Kingdom Hearts 1 or Arkham City?
Arkham City.
I'll concur. And Kingdom Hearts 1 or Untitled Goose Game?
Untitled Goose Game.
Kingdom Hearts 1 is officially the very bottom game in our list. At number 23 so far.
I fucking love that.
And I couldn't agree more. Kingdom Hearts 2.
Okay.
Much improved.
Way better.
Also, a lot of bullshit.
Except for that opening.
That opening's pretty bad.
That opening is incomprehensible, gushy pushy.
I would argue in the main trilogy, it is the best gameplay.
Yes. I think it's the best of the series. Birth by Sleep has better combo systems.
I would maybe make an argument for Birth by Sleep. Birth by Sleep is...
I would too, but it's also an incomprehensible storyline.
That's just Fall Nomura. Tetsuya Nomura is his name, and we got it.
I said N, and I was like, Nomura. I shouted at the sky.
I do think Kingdom Hearts 2 is much improved. The story is still crazy.
It's actually a lot easier to understand than what we think because they didn't delve into that weird territory quite yet.
Not yet. We didn't go mobile yet. We didn't go handheld too much yet. Chain of Memories is whatever, but...
Yeah, well, it's fun.
Kingdom Hearts 2 or Super Monkey Ball 2?
Super Monkey Ball 2.
I would go Kingdom Hearts 2.
Okay.
Do you want a battle? Or do you want to...
I'm going to give it to you.
Kingdom Hearts 2 or Final Fantasy VII Remake?
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Agreed. Kingdom Hearts 2 or Yakuza Like a Dragon?
Kingdom Hearts 2.
I would agree. Kingdom Hearts 3 looks great.
Yeah. Plays fine.
They actually developed some of the worlds longer than a while. The Toy Story world, incredibly thought out.
That one's fun.
The Frozen world,
The Rapunzel world, but
I don't mind that one. Neo, what is it?
I like the Monsters Inc. world.
Fransokyo, New Fransokyo, or whatever
Sounds
it's
good.
called. I really like Big Hero 6 as a world. That's great. Visiting Hercules again. Oh, okay. I guess we don't have any ideas anymore.
Well, that's the opener.
Yeah.
It's their God of War 3 opening. Literally, because it's fucking Greek myth.
I will say, at least they become self-aware to an extent, and they laugh at how stupid it is. They also made a fake Instagram as a plot element, where you like Heartstagram or whatever it's called.
Sure, yeah, I remember that vaguely.
Gameplay is broken in this game. Summoning Disney rides all the time.
All the fucking time.
Oh, okay. I'll just do it again. I'll just
rock the ship back and forth. Great. Oh, the teacups.
And I don't know a game that seems like it was in development for longer. Like there was so many weird in-between games.
Development is a hard word that we still have yet to define properly. Like active development and pre-development are two completely different things, because this could not have been in active development for that long. It couldn't have.
And we covered what Nomura was up to, and the fact that he was juggling so many different games, it was impressive.
It might as well just not have been a thing.
I do like Kingdom Hearts 3. I don't love it. At this point, it's fascinating. It's watching a train wreck fascinating. It's watching how stupid it can get.
I think this one is going to maybe become a relic of itself.
Yeah.
In a way that we don't really quite understand yet. We're going to look back on this in even like another, probably say like 5 years, and we're just going to go like, wait, remember when they just brought out the third Kingdom Hearts and it didn't really do anything for anyone?
It still just looks kind of like a PS2 game with extremely good graphics. I don't love the way the game looks. There's some great like particle effects, and some of like there's just so much happening color wise and light wise on screen. But when you watch a cutscene, it looks kind of bad.
It does.
I don't love it.
I love it when Donald and Goofy and Sora are just watching Elsa sing "Let It Go," and they're just like, "Wow, this is happening around us."
Goofy's like, this is pretty dumb.
Hey, this would be pretty good if it were a movie, wouldn't it, Sora? Shut up, Donald. It's not a movie. It's real.
I was like, shut up, Donald. I'm Sora now.
Shut up, Donald. I have a mortgage to pay.
I see frozen people.
Okay.
Kingdom Hearts 3 or Cinemora.
Cinemora. It's a good game. It's just legitimately just a better video game.
I concur. Kingdom Hearts 3 or Punch-Out.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
For real.
I'm not a huge Punch-Out fan. I never have been.
Punch-Out's a good, simple game. I will not stand by this hard, so we'll go Kingdom Hearts 3 above Punch-Out.
Okay. I'll get a lot of flack for it. I just don't care.
Resident Evil.
First one.
7.
Ooh, 7.
7? Fucking awesome.
Beautiful.
Love that game.
That game rules up until the third act. It's got third act problems.
I agree. When a game is so good in the early parts that you remember it as being a perfect game because you don't want to remember the later parts, that's a weird thing.
I have never been more terrified of a video game than Resident Evil 7, which gives it huge credence.
Major praise.
Well, that's huge for me. I don't get scared at video games. Like, I'm literally playing Resident Evil 2, the remake, and I've played through it before, but I should still be
scary.
scared. It's not scary. I'm just like, blam, blam, blam.
To me, the fact that I played it in VR was insanely intense.
Oh my God, when you lent me the PSVR and I played that, I was just like, my ex was just watching me, and she's like, Dylan, are you going to be okay? I'm like, I don't know if I'm okay. And I'm literally turning my head, and I'm just like, oh, Christ, a dead body.
It's very immersive. And I will rank this and talk about this based on the VR version of the game. Because I think that's important, because this game was made with VR as a core component to the game.
I will run this myself personally as a non-VR version.
Okay.
You're
correct. The opening of the game, incredibly
astonishing.
strong. Incredibly strong.
With the video camera segments too.
Yeah.
What a creative endeavor. Capcom, they knocked this out of the park.
And there's problems. The last part of the game on the tanker is
Yes.
the most problematic.
Because it's not fun.
But when you're fighting, what is it, Lucas, the son?
Yeah.
When you have to do the puzzle where you previously play in like the camera version,
Sure.
and you see how that person failed,
Yeah.
and you do it differently.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's fun visual storytelling and puzzle solving.
Right.
I can't say it's my favorite Resident Evil game, but it is.
It's not.
It's my second or third favorite. I do love this game, and the VR version specifically is so intense.
It's wonderful. And
that
it doesn't actually make you dizzy.
It is the first time.
If you turn off Bob.
It is the first time I've wanted to play a game, and I quit because it was too intense. That is the first time, and that's why
says something.
I haven't beat it in VR. I've only beat it non-VR.
That's fair though, because later on there's a lot more movement. And if you keep those goggles on for too long, you're gonna get sick.
One thing that works for this game is there's less action gameplay.
Yeah.
The more times you have to shoot with the VR, the worse it works.
Yeah.
It's not great. It's immersive, but it's not gameplay specific. It is exploration is great.
Yeah.
So that all being said, Resident Evil 7 versus Kingdom Hearts 2.
7.
Resident Evil 7 or Final Fantasy 7 PS1.
Resident Evil 7. I have to go there. I just think it's a... Okay. Actually, this one's really difficult. I have to give it to Final Fantasy 7.
PS1?
Yeah. I have to give it to it.
I concur.
Okay.
Resident Evil 7 or FF7 Remake?
Resident Evil 7.
I would go 7 Remake. Do you want to battle for it?
I'll give it to you.
And we already did Kingdom Hearts 2.
For as much
correct?
as I like it, I think Final Fantasy VII Remake could actually be replayed in a way that I don't think Resident Evil 7 could.
Right in the middle, we have the 7 block of 3 7 games in a row.
Oh, it's perfect.
Resident Evil 8 Village.
Okay.
My favorite Resident Evil game.
Yeah, mine too.
It's got the right campiness.
No, actually, it's not.
I guess I haven't played 4. But I actually tried to play 4 and it didn't work.
It is hard to do now.
Yeah.
Which I went back to it and I'm like, I used to be able to just play this game like it was nothing to me.
Very excited for the remake because it'll be modernized in a way that'll make it very playable for me.
I wonder if you're ever going to have to dodge a giant robot chasing you. That happens.
That sounds very Resident Evil 5 or 6 of it to do.
Starts
Resident
there.
Evil Village functions as a greatest hits of the Resident Evil series.
Yes.
It has fun, kind of well-developed, unique characters. Dimitrescu, like Moreau, like these different
Moreau's
gameplay
cool.
segments. I forget the name of the doll possessed,
Eliza or something.
I like that sequence too, where all of your stuff is taken away. It turns into a strictly puzzle solving, not gameplay
Baby
based.
in the hallway.
Terrifying. Oh, fucking bad.
Oh no! I legitimately was just like, I remember just going, "This is not okay." Like I'm talking to my cat. I'm just like, "This is not good, dude."
And Goblin's like, oh shit.
I was like, "I don't know. I just want food. I'm fat."
You hear a baby laughing just coming down the hallway. And I like that it's still not defined what's happening there.
Yeah, you can collect a bunch of stuff to kind of figure out what they tried to do in that basement, but it's really, it doesn't mean too much.
You ran away from the baby once, and then you also have to go down a well you find in the basement even further. And I've never wanted to nope out of a situation harder. Dimitrescu was fun, and it's got like a level of silly campiness to it. It's still got like,
That's the Resident Evil oneness.
and I like that, but the real horror for me came from that segment of the baby, and then you get to that room going down the well. That's
Well, and truth be told, it's playing. They play on every single trope of modern horror games now. Like I would say that the basement with the baby is a walking simulator, essentially. Like
in the best way
like
possible.
the horror walking simulators. We're talking like what's the very famous one everyone likes? Like, not The Asylum.
What Remains of Edith Finch?
I mean, that's technically a horror game if you really want to break it down. But first person, very famous on like YouTube for a long time.
Village is very good.
Yes. Okay. No, Village is fantastic.
If anything, there's a little bit too much of Ethan Winters like, oh, why is this always happening?
Why is my hand gone now?
His narration is always ridiculous and over the top.
I mean, to be fair, I don't know how many times it would take to get my hand cut off.
Curse you.
Sewed back on.
Curse you, Ethan Winters. No, curse you. It's like, whoa.
He's a dad on a mission, man.
It's like, you really got him there.
He just wants to go back to his accounting job.
And they do somehow manage to get like a little plot reveal that Ethan was suffering from something. Yeah, it was a mold man. Village is my favorite. The gameplay's tight. The puzzle solving's pretty tight.
Puzzle solving's way better than 7.
And Heisenberg and that whole final area, despite the factory not being super visually interesting the whole time, it's still good.
Yeah.
And I like the progression of all of it. I'm there for Resident Evil Village pretty much the whole way. I'm excited for the DLC.
I think Resident Evil 2 remake is still better, but that is a personal preference thing.
Resident Evil Village or Disco Elysium?
Village.
Agree. Resident Evil Village or Cuphead? I'd go Village.
Yeah, me too.
Resident Evil Village or What Remains of Edith Finch?
What Remains of Edith Finch?
Yep. We agree.
Okay.
Resident Evil Village or Hollow Knight?
Hollow Knight.
I go Hollow Knight.
Yeah, I have to.
Okay. Resident Evil Village has landed at number 6 so far.
Lovely.
We're going to keep going here. Resident Evil 2 Remake. Love Resident Evil 2 Remake. I played the original PS1 game.
It's delicious.
2 Remake is a perfect remake, in my opinion.
It is the perfect way to modernize new video games and have it speak to another audience, because whether or not you believe in the idea of like tank controls being a necessary hindrance, I think that opening this up to modern audiences, but increasing the number of enemies and then increasing like the gunplay actually modernizes it in a very appropriate way.
Yeah.
Because you have a lot more bullets in this. It's less survival horror now as it is just horror.
Yeah. There's not a lot of instances where I ran out of stuff.
No, there are instances. Once I got to the basement a million times in a row, I would lose. I'd be like, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. But you can always find something miraculously. It's in the game design. But yeah, I love Resident Evil 2 Remake.
I think it's a little long in the tooth, perhaps.
They like Final Fantasy VII Remake, they extend things.
I don't know. I don't remember the PS1 game. How much did they extend it? Because to me,
they extended it quite a bit.
There is always a lot down in the sewers in the original, isn't there? But
also,
it's
not quite the same. There aren't as many boards,
like the sewers to the labs and all of that. Like that's where it gets a little long for me. The stuff with the plants in Resident Evil 2 Remake, I don't like.
I liked the sewers because you're facing down a giant alligator.
But when you get to the labs and you're fighting those plant monsters, I hated it.
I hate the plant monsters.
Hate that whole
sequence. They can all get fucked. I'm not afraid of plants.
And the fact that there's a part of this game
get a machete.
I mean, if it was just the police station and
yeah, absolutely, yeah,
I would be 100%. That's why this game is below Village in my opinion, because there are segments I dislike.
Okay, there are parts in 8 I dislike as well. I think it gets long in the tooth as well.
Moreau would be what I would call the slowest segment. Just like
I liked kind of like the briny cosmic horror that it was trying to go through.
I also like anytime you have a weird, misshapen, misloved creature that just
feel sympathetic,
watches weird sitcoms on TV. I'm into that.
But that's also an aspect of horror. It's like Frankenstein's monster, you know?
It's The Hills Have Eyes to an extent a little bit too. Like,
yeah, you're supposed to feel like what happened to this person.
Resident Evil 2 Remake or Final Fantasy VII Remake? I'm going 7 Remake.
I'm going to give that to you.
Resident Evil 2 Remake or Resident Evil 7?
Resident Evil 7.
Yeah.
It did more. It achieved more.
Okay. Death Stranding. Dylan, what are your thoughts on Death Stranding?
I love Death Stranding. I have a job that's basically Death Stranding right now. To a point where I think I actually manifested it into my life because I loved it so much.
When you started peeing in bottles and throwing it at people, I was a little concerned, but then I was like, oh, it's Death Stranding.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No,
I
I think Death Stranding is kind of a thesis on what it means to make a game that isn't necessarily combat focused. And it does have combat elements,
Which I never used.
But so much of it discourages you from killing people. And the game is literally about these fake relationships that you somehow feel like you want to connect people to other people. And it's a story about a very broken man, which I love. I love stories about broken men because I'm a quite broken man myself. But you go out into the world and you try to make things better, if not for just your own compulsions, but for the fact that you just, it's like when you start out this game, do you remember, I believe I talked to you maybe like an hour in and you said, what the fuck is this game to me?
Yeah. Probably many times.
Yeah.
Throughout the game, yeah.
And I said, you're going to have to give it time, unfortunately.
Yeah. Because I remember I started this game once and it didn't click right away, so I didn't play it for a while.
Yeah,
and I came back to it. Once you get it, it really does put its claws in you. And
Oh, absolutely.
there's something to be said about tone defining a gameplay experience too.
Mm-hmm.
And what Kojima does simply with music and atmosphere
Yeah. We both
is unparalleled. I don't know another game that can really pull off such a feeling with
It's so, I think the word we're looking for is curated. I think that the way that Kojima absorbs all of pop culture and then kind of puts it down a funnel and straight into your mouth is kind of the most fascinating thing about him.
I'm wondering if Kojima gets paid to do these things. So when you say it's curated, it was funny to me because when I say he gets paid, Kojima, what he chooses to post on like, this is me. He posted a picture of the Morbius poster and I was like, is he trolling people? Is he getting paid to do this?
Maybe he loves Dr. Michael Morbius.
Maybe he also just like, this is fun and campy and bad. And you never know what he's thinking about something, but I also inherently trust so much of his output that I'm curious about is in like what he's sending at us.
So you talk about like, we talk about auteurship a lot and we try to give like certain people certain amounts of credit for things, right?
Yeah.
I think that he is actually one of those auteurs who kind of sticks to his guns and he doesn't really cave to the people around him, which has only benefited him. I don't think he's a stellar game designer. And I'm just going to put that out there. I think where his talent lies is finding out what's different and interesting and traveling along those threads rather than kind of doing what everyone else would have done to make something a little bit more pleasurable. I don't think his games are about pleasure. I don't think his games are about making you feel powerful. And for a lot of video games, it's about this like power fantasy where you get to be the thing you've always wanted to be. In his games, you kind of are in like Metal Gear Solid games, but you're also not, because if you're not good at them, you're just going to be a dipshit who gets caught by guards.
Death Stranding, I can't imagine anything more awkward and what feels less conceived than any of the boss battles. Anytime I'm fighting a giant whale floating in space or trying to jump across buildings, the gameplay feels weak. I
think that's on purpose.
Well, and I'm like, I don't know what do I have to shoot a rocket launcher at this whale thing? And
just throw piss at him.
But it never feels great.
Yeah.
But I get it and I get through it. To me, it is the boring, repetitive stuff. It is
Yeah.
building roads, getting packages, getting 5 stars, and experiencing the world. And
It's a
who can take the shittiness of walking over uneven terrain and make it a core, like, this is the best part of the game.
Doesn't it feel good though?
It feels good.
So that's the part of it where I think Death Stranding is an absolute masterpiece. Mm-hmm. We're gonna have a real hard time once we come to this list.
I don't know. I think
I think it's one of the best games ever made.
I'm with you.
Okay.
And Death Stranding or Final Fantasy VIII.
Death Stranding.
I agree. Death Stranding or Hollow Knight.
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding or Hades.
Death Stranding.
That's a tough one for me. Hades.
I played Hades.
Hades is a perfect video game.
I think it's flawed, but I love it.
Your conviction.
I think flawed for the right reasons is different than flawed for the wrong reasons.
I will concede this one just because I want to hear your thoughts on Kentucky Route Zero versus Death Stranding. Now we've entered the zone.
Now you're in real Dylan territory.
I'm going Kentucky Route Zero for its perfect aspect of art. It represents multiple kinds of art, multiple kinds of storytelling, and I've had a more transformative experience with the scenes and the music and the feelings in Kentucky Route Zero than Death Stranding.
No, I actually agree with you. Yeah. Nope, you're right.
Okay.
I think you described that quite well.
And so what's going to happen now is we're going to leave you this episode. We are going to go into our Doggies After Dark to finish ranking the rest of the games we had to talk about today.
Oh.
So we're not done ranking, but that'll be a Patreon exclusive thing. If you want to see this list, we will post it eventually somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
We're working on it. And if you want to hear our discussions on Persona 5, Donkey Kong Country, Nier Automata, Super Mario RPG, Pokemon, and Doom, you will have to join us on Patreon.
Oh my God, you have to subscribe to that because this is going to be a huge problem for me.
We're going to have some fun.
Oh God.
And, if you wanted to check out our after show, it's called Doggies After Dark. Go to patreon.com/hairofthedogcast.
All right.
And for as low as $3, you can get access to a lot of bonus episodes. There's a lot of really good stuff on there, and we'd love to have you.
Some of our more like looser episodes as well.
This is us kind of curating ourselves.
We do, and even I do. But once it hits Doggies After Dark, it's all hell breaks loose.
We also have a show where we talk about movies and television, and there's some other great things there.
Popcorn Dogs.
Popcorn Dogs is great.
Yeah.
We exist because of people like you. So thanks for listening. If you have gotten this far, please write a review if you can. It would mean a lot. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Hair the Dogcast, and we're on Twitter at Hot Dogcast. If you think we got anything wrong, unless it's about Kingdom Hearts, then you can reach out to us. And thanks to executive producers Ryan, Chrissy, Nick, especially for the beers, Tyler Keller, Kip,
Yes, thank you.
Brian Ward, and Katie Bone.
Thanks to all of you.
Thanks to everybody. We're part of the HyperX Podcast Network. For more information, check out podcast.hyperx.com. Next week, Castlevania month begins. We're going to start talking about the NES games and just have a party from then on out.
The Symphony of the Night episode, I would say right now, is the highlight, and that's locked behind the paywall as well.
Just $3 a month. Very easy to get.
Honestly, if you got a thing where you just want to hear it, it's $3. Scope in, scope out. If you like what you heard, though, stay with us.
Yeah, we would love to have you.
I won't blame you.
And this is one for the road. Everybody makes one recommendation. Could be anything. Do you have a recommendation?
Yes, I actually do. I would say I can't remember the name of the author, but I went comic book shopping yesterday and I picked up another copy of Vinland Saga.
Okay.
It's a story about a young man in like the early 1000s.
Okay.
And it's drawn in a Japanese like manga style, and it spans like 13 like larger volumes. It's very good. Very emotional. There's an anime which does a really great adaptation if you ever wanted to see it, but it leaves off at just the most critical point.
Okay.
And they still haven't produced a second season. So, I would highly suggest you go in on that because the story of Thorfinn. That's how they would have pronounced it.
It's dorsal fin.
Oh,
Yeah.
like on a dolphin.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's where it came from.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
It's about GameCube prototypes.
I can't remember his name. I'm just going to look it up real quick. I do have to give them an ultimate shout out because I think they do just magnum opuses every single time. Makoto Yukimura. Give it a shot. Even if you read it online, it's a bit more adult. It's different than other manga you've read almost entirely.
And there will be more manga discussions at some point later on.
Oh, these will be Dylan Run episodes.
Yeah, Dylan and Tyler will be having fun with those. If my one for the road, if you're into local city culture, if you want to explore more of like the history behind a city, I recommend the new Netflix series Dahmer. It really describes Milwaukee in a perfect way.
No, it doesn't.
I've enjoyed the first 2 episodes.
They got so much shit wrong. From
the Dahmer experience or from the Milwaukee experience?
Both.
I thought how much have you seen?
I have seen the first episode.
Okay.
I don't care about anything else. Listen, man, they got Dahmer wrong in the way that they got him completely
I thought they
wrong.
nailed his blackout drunkenness very well.
It's the script.
Okay.
My problem is the script.
Okay.
They didn't go into it. They didn't do it right.
Well, this has been Hair of the Dogcast. Check us out. Like and subscribe. We'll see you next time, and we'll be right back to continue ranking games for Doggies After Dark.
Absolutely.
Patreon. Thank you very much.
There we go.
Hello, fans. As part of the HyperX Podcast Network, we're letting you know that this year is HyperX's 20th birthday. To celebrate, they're offering some great deals on their award-winning gaming gear. If you're in the market for a new headset, a new microphone, blue light blocking eyewear, or any number of other high-quality HyperX products, head on over to HyperX20.com to check out all the birthday deals. Once again, check out the HyperX 20th birthday sale over at HyperX.com.